熱く痛む燃えるような瞳の奥はメリーを何度もつないだ手と手に喜びと幸せを握らせた前、あなたが名前を変えてもあなたが声を変えてもそう私にはわかる。開かない扉の前で泣いていたあどけない目がそう語った夢を懐かしい匂いはクレマチスでしょうか。もっとそばに寄り添っていたい永久凍土の中に埋もれた記憶ごと捨てにナイフを当てて点々とこぼれた暖かくて鮮やかな血液のようなメリーを37度の微熱でその記憶少しずつ溶かしてゆくの。あらふる鳥のくちばしでついばまれた者たちの歌が聞こえてきます。切っ先がぶつかり合うような鋼のきしんだ声が唱えるマットネス。どうかその唇閉じて笑みをください。I come to meet you. I give my life to you. あなたが名前を変えてもあなたが声を変えてもそう私にはわかる。開かない扉の前で泣いていたあどけない目がそう語った夢を懐かしい匂いはクレマチスでしょうか。だってそこで巡り合ったじゃない。灰色の冷たい空に降り止まぬ雪。捨てにきっと誰もわかってくれない。熱く痛む燃えるような瞳の奥はメリーを が名前を変えてもあなたが声を変えてもそう私にはわかる開かない扉の前で泣いていたあどけない目がそう語ったり夢を懐かしい匂いはクレマチスでしょうかもっとそばに寄り添っていたい永久凍土の中に埋もれた記憶ごと Stay with me ナイフを当てて点々とこぼれた暖かくて鮮やかな血液のようなメリオ37度の微熱でその記憶少しずつ溶かしてゆくのアラフル鳥のくちばしでついばまれた者たちの歌が聞こえてきます切っ先がぶつかり合うような鋼のきしんだ声が唱えるマットネスどうかその唇閉じて笑みをくださいI come to meet you I give our life toあなたが名前を変えてもあなたが声を変えてもそう私にはわかる開かない扉の前で泣いていたあどけない目がそう語ったり夢を懐かしい匂いはクレマチスでしょうか
Dun 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 dun. Hello, it is me. I am here. And I have no idea why Final Fantasy VII Reunion is in. Because we finished playing that ages ago. Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. 6 achievements left. I might trigger 100%, but I wouldn't 100% on stream. Yeah, as far as the streams are concerned, and the Let's Play playthrough itself is, this is going to be the last stream of Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. Going for the true ending, the travel ending, and the links ending today. And then we're done. So let's get straight into it, I suppose. I'm just going to move something across. There we go. I find it interesting though that it keeps the same person there who's the last read you did. On the one there. Anyway. Start with the opening scene. It's gonna be like the second to last time you go and hear this. Movie. Bam. I wonder what the other two are, seriously. If I don't get all the achievements doing everything in the game then that I can, then I don't know what I have left to do, to be honest. I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna check something. Actually, I won't even mute. You know what? I'm just gonna... Really, I'm gonna fall over. There you go. That's all I need to do. Open the door for a bit and then close it. I do want to check that stream is... I was gonna say, I wanted to make sure stream was caught up. So, continue. We've done all the things. So, we did stay there. It was inconsiderate of me. Goes to chapel, talk to Hugh. Don't kill all guys. Reality. Don't run. Won't run. Done that anyway. Believe in Lugus because you've cleared all of them. That's been done anyway. And all we really need to do is go to straight to I Seek the Light. I seek the light. Chapter 10. Here we go, true ending time. The next day, practically everyone who lived in this town gathered in the square. Lavin, Levy, Lawrence, Elric, and even T were there. I could see everyone's faces from where I stood. The town square was overflowing with people, and I was there at the center of it. In front of me was the Lord of the Hawk clan, Lucas, and surrounding me were many other burly men. I was undergoing a witch trial.
汝は自らの正体をひた隠し、ボルグの闘士に濡れ衣を着せたことを認めるか。汝は魔女の瞳を用いてファルジの闘士をかどわかし、この町に争いの種をまいた。そういないな。この町を雪で閉ざし、人々を閉じ込めるのはなぜか。答えよ。
I didn't answer a single question asked of me.
なんであいつ何も言わねえんだよ。少しくらい言い返してやれよ。
何を言っても状況は変わらない。そう判断したんだろう。
だからって言われっぱなしかよ。俺たちも黙って見てるだけかよ。
今騒いだらどうなるか考えろ。俺だってこのままにしておくつもりはない。
ロレンス、いいの？今は見守ろう。
Oh, T's
質問に
available.
答えよ。いい加減にせんか。貴様の存在がどれほど我々を。
よせ。
しかしルーガス様。いえ、失礼しました。
Get put in your place, interrogator. The interrogator couldn't help but raise his voice, but was reprimanded by Lucas. That's not what I wanted. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I wanted to make sure I was being heard. Lucas then called out to the townspeople surrounding me.
ファルジの一族もボルグの一族も等しく魔女によって惑わされた。それによって町の者を全て巻き込むほどの対立が刻まれた。これほど不幸なことがあるだろうか。ふざけるな。
Levy was the first one to react to Lucas's speech. Lovin tried desperately to stop him, but Levy continued to shout.
そいつのせいで不幸なんてそんなことあるはずがない。少なくとも俺はそいつに。
その左手はどうした？
Levy suddenly stopped after having that pointed out.
大層な怪我のようだ。それも魔女の仕業ではないのか。
違う。これは俺が。
なんならこの場で詳しい経緯を話してもいいが。
てめえ。
こらえろ。あいつは。
Lucas knew the history behind Levy's injuries. When they agreed to join together to take down Olgar, Levy revealed it. Back then, Lucas was one of us, without a doubt.
そうかよ。お前に言われるまでもね。おいみんな聞いてくれ。
やめろレビー。
うっせえ。俺だけ逃げるなんて真似できるかよ。俺は
I laughed loudly in the most insulting way I knew. Why? The laughter echoed throughout the town square and gathered everyone's attention. No one else was laughing but me.
ジェド。
お前。
The people who gathered there were either dumbfounded or people who gathered there were either dumbfounded or scared of my laughter.
この後に及んでまだ私を信じている人間がいるんだな。本当におめでたいよ、この町の連中は。
So she's acting like a villain?
おい。
お前何 何を言って。
I glared sharply at the two who weren't understanding the situation and then he turned back to the crowd.
俺は、いや、私は魔女だ。この町に不幸をもたらし、破滅へと導く魔女。この赤い目こそが何よりの証だ。
I shouted as loud as I could so that everyone could hear.
根性は狼を惑わし、鷹に取り付いた。たったそれだけで町は争いのるつぼと化した。そう、すべて私の手によって。
After a brief silence, ear-piercing shouts erupted from the town square. Jeers, screams, shrieks. The fear and hatred of the whole town was directed at me. This was perfect.
答えは出たのか。
I escaped the jail cell again just a little bit last night. I went to talk to Lucas on my decision.
私はすべてを終わりにしたい。この閉ざされた町。
Oh, it's this, I see.
俺とは真逆の道を望んだが。
ごめん。
違う道を選ぶならお前を殺す。そう言ったはずだ。
私を殺してほしい。
どういうことだ。
I told him everything I knew. That to release his town from the Psychedelica, the Kaleidosphere must be completed. 4 magical stones would be necessary for that. The very last one was tightly knit within my own soul. I needed to die for that to be extracted.
だから俺に殺せと。
できるだけ大勢の前で。
確かに皆の前で認めてしまえばボルグの兄弟も味方を作ることは難しいだろう。だがわざわざそのようなことを。
私はハッピーエンドが好きなんだ。私の目の魔石は一度砕けてる。だからもしかしたら使い物にならないかもしれない。万が一カレードビアを使っても世界が変わらなかったら、その時にはルーガスは魔女を殺した英雄として町を守っていってほしいんだ。ラバンやレビ、ティートも一緒に悪い魔女を倒して、もう一度ファルジとボルグが手を取り合えばこの町は幸せに過ごしていける。それが束の間だとしても、私は私の生きたこの町が大好きなんだ。
Lucas frowned.
お前は本当に魔女だな。大勢の前で愛する女を殺せと頼む。そんなことが頼める奴は魔女以外の何者でもない。
嫌な役目をさせてごめん。でもルーガスにしかできないことだから。町のために私を殺すと言ったルーガスだから。
お前が死んだ後、俺がカレードビアを起動させるという保証はどこにもない。
そうだね。それはルーガスを信じるしかない。
信じられるのか、この俺を。
信じられるよ、ルーガスなら。
魔女め。カレードビアを使えばこの閉じた世界は解放される。お前が死んだ後に間もなく俺たちも魂に帰る。
そうなってほしい。
ならばいい。
ありがとう。
I took Lucas's hand and gripped it tightly.
きっとどんな結末になっても
この先に明るい明日が待っているはずだから、私はその中をルーガスにもみんなにも歩いていってもらいたい。
Lucas continued to hold my hand and leaned against me.
お前一人を行かせはしない。俺もすぐに追いかける。お前がどんな世界へ行こうとも必ず迎えに行く。必ずだ。
This was perfect. Even as I heard their jeers, I thought that. There was one thing that I didn't tell Lucas. Even if everyone's souls were released, my soul would not be among them. I would die before the Kaleidosphere was activated. My soul would vanish, or perhaps be imprisoned in a place they call the Abyss. There would never come a time where we could meet in another world. There would never come a time when our paths will cross again.
私を憎め。
I made sure that Lavin and Levy didn't try to help me.
私を恨め。
I said this so everyone would think that they had been bewitched by me.
狼の子よ、兄は惑わされたのだ。弟は狂わされたのだ。
I wanted the curtain to fall properly.
この赤い目の魔女によって。
That was all I could do for now.
違う、俺たちは。ジェド、どうして。
Those two voices were overpowered by the louder shouts.
お前たちは私を殺すことなど決してできはしない。
The interrogator paled as he dropped to his knees in fear. I drew out his sword from the hilt on his waist. That was not a ceremonial sword, but a real one. I glared at Lucas. Lucas also drew his sword. The cries of fear and anger of the crowd increased further as we faced each other. I swung with all of my strength, but easily deflected it.
ルーガス様、お下がりください。ここは我々が。
邪魔をするな。
しかし、
こいつは俺のものだ。誰にも邪魔はさせん。
Thank you. I actually didn't care who killed me as long as the Kaleidosphere was activated after my death. That's just a selfish wish of mine. If I was going to die, I wanted to die by Lucas's hands. I wanted my life to be taken by the one I trusted. It was a tiny wish, but it would take a miracle for that to come true. Yes. This was my first and last selfish wish. Please, with this sword.
ジェド！
I held the sword high. In the next instant I saw a flash of light coming towards me. He's pained. Lucas's sword swung through me. Losing my strength, I dropped to my knees. I then fell onto the cold stone pavement. I felt the heat flowing out of my pierced chest. A red puddle oozed out from the center of my body. It was my blood. There was so much. As the blood spread, I could feel my body growing colder. I wanted to tell him not to worry, but I couldn't seem to speak. In exchange, I made an awkward, distorted smile. Thank you. I'm counting on you. Amidst that, something cold touched my cheek. Snow was falling again. It quietly fell on top of my spreading blood.
ジェード様。
Hmm.
お兄様がジェド様を。
I feel like T is gonna be one of the most affected here. Because it's like her idol brother slayed her love. She had a crush on Jen. Plus she's like the youngest here. Of course Levy and Lavin are gonna be heavily affected, and so will Lavin. And so will Elric and Benoit and Lawrence as well. Like, wow. Man, the amount of screaming. T's voice felt so far away. She was remembering me. She was crying for me. I'm sorry. You finally regained your memory too. I'm sorry you saw this side of me. All the sounds around me started to fade. My vision gradually blurred and darkened. And amidst that, something white was mixed into view. Something beautiful that fluttered. It was snow. They looked like flower petals. When spring came, maybe we could finally see real flower petals. Even if I could not see anymore. At least I would pray. I would pray that spring would come to all. The tiny snowdrop flowers declared the coming of spring. A light went through my right eye. Something fell from it. Everyone remained silent amid the snowfall. It was as if one world had ended right before their eyes. Snow fell equally onto everyone's heads there. One boy was the first to notice there was something warm mixed in it. Your white flower petals that could be mistaken for snow were in the boy's palm. I looked up at the sky. Snow had stopped. In its place, flower petals danced. They gave off a white glow. Enthralled by the fantastic sight, many people were speechless. One part cracked. The path had been opened. All thanks to the young Lord of the Hawks carrying the corpse of the witch in his arms. A man and woman descended from the stage amid the petals dancing in the air. All the while, they received his blessing from the sky as well as the dread from the people. He walked along the pure white path leading to the church. She's dead. I killed her. I killed the woman I loved with my own hands. This was what the woman I loved wanted. She cried at the very end. I wiped her tears with my fingertips. She was already cold. I picked up a fallen stone where her tears had fallen. It was the magical stone dyed red from her blood. It seemed the woman's soul had been severed from it. She didn't breathe, nor could I hear her heartbeat. But I will go with you. I will grant your wish. At the very least, watch me undertake it from my side. I picked her up. I remember doing this once before. It's when I helped you after you fell into the river. Not much later since then. I took a step and the people opened a path for me. That's right, move out of the way. I won't let anyone interfere with her last wish. The one she gave her life for. It was placed right in the middle of the chapel. They really did take away the trouble of finding it. I laid down the woman's corpse and moved closer to the Psychedelica. I only thought of it as a tasteless ornament when I saw it in the masquerade, but it looked completely different now. It even glowed. It was beautiful. I can honestly say that from the bottom of my heart. I will now activate this by using the 4 magical stones. I have 1 of them. Another one fell from her eye earlier. And the other one, here it is. What was supposedly taken away from the younger brother of the wolf was found right beside the Psychedelica. And the last...
Lugas!
遅かった
てめえ、よくもジェドを
Just as I thought, they came on their own accord. The last stone should be held by the elder of the 2 brothers of the wolf.
な。頼みがある。
ふざけんな。誰がお前の頼みなんて。
待て、レビ。
止めんなよ。泣いてるよ、この人。
An orphan of the church and a priest too. Did they follow me here?
なんでお前が泣いてんだよ。
俺が。
I'm crying. Now that I mention it, my face is wet. I see. Apparently I was crying. I don't remember the last time I shed tears.
何かあったんだね。君とジェドの間で。
どういうことだ。黙って聞いてくれ。こいつの最後の頼みだ。
I told them everything I learned the night before. That is her wish, that is her desire. And this is the path she chose.
そんな、そのためにジェドは。
叫んなよ。なんで全部終わっちまってから、なんでもっと早く俺に言わねえんだよ。言えねえまま。
俺たちには殺せないと考えたんだな。これがあいつの選択か。
I mean, it was bound to her soul. There was no other way.
兄貴。ルーガス。ジェドはお前を選んだんだ。俺でもなく、レビでもなく。ルーガス。お前をな。くそ。なんだよ、こんなの。改めて頼む。俺はこいつの願いを叶えてやりたい。
Hello, Master Ball. Welcome to stream. How are you doing today? Welcome in. Hi, hi, hi. How are you?
約束をたがえるわけには。
たまだ破ったりしてみろ。その時はぶっ殺してやる。受け取れ。最後の魔石だ。
Lovin handed over his ring. Now the Kaleidovia could be activated. But I won't be the one to activate it.
それはお前たちに頼みたい。俺は他にやることがある。
I looked at the woman laid down. She made one lie last night. There was one thing she kept secret. Her soul would not be released. Our paths in other worlds would never cross.
それは本当か。
閉ざされた世界で死んだ魂は君たちと同じ場所へは行けない。ジェドの魂は永遠に奈落に囚われることになる。
The man who used to be Haku appeared out of nowhere after I bid farewell to her last night.
僕が伝えたかったのはそれだけ。
待て。なぜわざわざ伝えに来た。
ジェドは全てを知った上で選択した。君だけ知らないことがあるのは公平じゃないと思ってね。
それだけか。
C で付け加えるなら僕は悲劇を好むけど悲劇を望むわけじゃない。
He says, "Is it place boots? Ooh, nice."
たとえその可能性が一縷より細い望みであったとしてもね。
He said incomprehensible things before leaving.
自分だけを犠牲にするつもりか。そうはさせない。お前の魂は必ず連れ戻す。
I drew my sword. This was the sword that pierced you. Oh, I didn't even wipe off the blood yet. It's still red. But that's fine.
今度はお前の番だ。お前の血で俺の体を貫いてみせろ。
It's so tragic. Because Jed is stuck in the abyss, he wants to be with Jed at all times, so he will be willing to sacrifice himself. But sacrifice himself just so he can be with Jed. He's willing to kill himself just so he can be with Jed, floating in the abyss.
お前が貫かれたのと同じ。俺の心臓を。
落ちていく落ちていく。全身に水のような抵抗を感じながら緩やかに深淵へと落ちていく。次第に自分が落ちているのか浮かんでいるのか、そんなこともわからなくなる。暗闇と自分の境界が曖昧になっていく。私の体は存在しているのか。手をかざしても見えないのは手がないからではないか。瞳を凝らしても何も見えないのは目がないからではないだろうか。失われていく。私を形作っているものは少しずつ体も思考も感情もなくなっていく。私が私でなくなっていく。このまま消えるのか。永遠にこのまま。何かが指先に触れた。指、そうだ。私には指がある。その先には手が、腕がある。私の肩、そこからつながる体がある。何かに引っ張られている。私のではない手が頬に触れている。そこから顔があることがわかる。目も 鼻も口も失いかけていたものが戻ってくる。私が形作られていく。誰？私を引っ張ってくれているのは、私が私であると思い出させてくれるのは、薄くまぶたを開き暗闇の中に目を凝らす。ああ、やっぱりこの人だ。道にも迷わず。本当にこんなところまで来てくれた。
Lucas.
必ず迎えに行くと言っただろう、エアル。
The light of the sun filled my vision. Oh, we got a whole epilogue. Oh my lord. So we in the abyss? Like, where are we? Flowers were blooming. It's already spring. This was the first one I would greet in this town ever since my move here during the winter.
あんまりぼーっとしてると遅刻しちゃうよ。
あ、ごめん。
Aya urged me to keep her pace. We became friends right after I transferred to her school. She took care of me and every morning we went to school together like this.
お花好きなの？
好きっていうか、ずっと寒いところにいたから珍しくて。
I smiled and nodded. I enjoyed our small talk as we walked along the street blooming abundantly with flowers. So this is like I guess it's a reincarnation of Jed after Aluga saved her. Hold on. I'm seeing butterflies. Hold on. I've not played Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly. But this is very interesting if this is what I think it is. Okay. Whoops. Ai Minato. When I was looking at Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly, I knew there was a red-haired girl with red eyes. I see. So it does have references. But it's a standalone story on its own. So after Jed is essentially, I guess, reincarnated, or I don't know what Jed is right now. I would guess it's a reincarnation. She goes to the same school as the main character of Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly. That's a nice little thing.
放課後なんだけど、ちょっと寄り道していいかな？
It's because it's a butterfly I noticed. I was like, wait a sec.
いいけど、どこに？
あきちゃんの誕生日がもうすぐだから、プレゼントを用意しようと思って。
ああ、姫野くんか。私も一緒でいいの？
もちろんだよ。私一人だと迷っちゃうから、一緒にいてくれると嬉しいな。
相変わらず仲いいね。なんて言ったっけ？ほら、凪高の双子。
拓也くんと和也くん？
そうそう。最近はどうしてるの？
それぞれ忙しくしてるけど、みんな元気だよ。
I smiled happily. She seemed so happy when she talked about her childhood friends. It made me want to smile too. We made small talk and I noticed a man walking toward us from the opposite side. Next to him was a boy with fluffy hair. We continued talking and laughing. The sidewalk was wide enough that we didn't have to move over to let the other pass. We simply passed each other by. Oh. Okay. I haven't played Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly, but I know for a fact these two are from that game, just from the Steam page I've seen. That's very interesting then. So in the true ending, Jed, I would suppose, gets reincarnated and put into the actual living world, which would be the world of Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly. And not Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. Got it. Okay, this might be after the... Because they had Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly takes place in a manor, so this must be after those events. So if anything, this is a sequel, but not sequel at the same time, I guess. It would make a lot more sense probably if I played Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly.
それでか。妹が急にその湖に行きたいと言い出したのは。
ああ、うん。僕が話しちゃったから。
まあいい。今度の休みに連れて行く約束をしたから、君も蝶の説明をしてやってくれ。
いいの？やったー。それじゃあ次の土曜日。
Oh, that's nice. The two of them passed by us, but I stopped in my tracks for some reason.
今の二人。どうしたの？
I looked at me strangely.
なんだか知っている人かと思っただけ。気のせいだったみたいだけど。
They do look very similar to Levi. And who is Lawrence? Don't tell me that the characters in Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly are the living world variants, or like the, I guess, equivalents of the characters of Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. And that this whole thing loops around. Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly happened. And it loops to Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk, which loops back around to a happier part of Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly. Jesus. I knew it was an indirect sequel, but I guess it's a lore thing where it loops back around lore-wise. Man, I probably would really appreciate this a lot more if I played Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly, but I can see the connection at least. I turned toward the two. She stared at them until they disappeared from view. She then mumbled to herself. Or is it Lucas? I don't know.
実は前世で恋人同士だったとか、そんな感じの。
愛はロマンチストだね。どうしたの？顔が赤いよ。
かっこよくそういうこと言うのやめてほしい。そうじゃなくても男前なのに。
男前？
That's not a nice way to describe me. I'm a girl after all. When we approached the school, the town got livelier. Life here was convenient, but I missed the natural scenery from where I used to live. I had a man waiting for the signal to turn while he talked on his phone.
ずいぶん年の離れた兄弟ができるんだな。ああ、わかった。今度の連休にそっちに顔出す。母さんも無理せず気をつけてくれ。ああ、弟に会えるのも楽しみにしてる。
I wasn't planning on eavesdropping, but he must have been talking to his family. I was an only child, so I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. That man looked happy about it.
もう本当に遅刻しちゃうってば。
I genuinely think these are reincarnations. I genuinely believe that these are reincarnations of the characters from Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. Every single one of them. Maybe not I, but everyone else. 100%.
ごめん。
The signal had already turned green and I was in the middle of the crosswalk waving at me. Maybe I was daydreaming because it was spring. It seemed like I'm becoming so scatterbrained. I looked at my watch and saw that I could still barely make it on time. I jogged over to the school gates. I was okay, but I wasn't the athletic type. I felt sorry for making her run too. Again. Because I was still absent-minded while running, I almost bumped into someone near the school gates.
のっと。
His strong hand held my shoulder gently. Thanks to that, we didn't collide.
ごめん、急いでたから。
That's definitely Lucas. I'm just saying that is definitely 100% the reincarnation of Lucas.
いや、問題ない。
He was a head taller than me. He was wearing a uniform, so maybe we were the same age. I didn't recognize him. Okay, maybe... Okay, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe it isn't, like... It isn't connected to Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly. Again, I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know. But it's more of a... reincarnation. Maybe in a different timeline. Or something. And the mana... was long burned down. Which probably is references to Francisca's mana, actually.
入らなくていいのか。遅刻するぞ。
I think this is an alternate timeline. So I guess Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly in this timeline wouldn't have happened. At all. And Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk did. No clue. I'm making it up as I go, because again, I've not played Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly.
あ、うん。そっちは？
俺は職員室に行く。今日転校してきたばかりだからな。
そうなんだ。それじゃあ初めましてだ。
ああ。よろしく頼む。
ねえ、早く。
I was yelling at me from the shoe lockers.
待って！すぐ行くから！
Yeah, Lucas did save Jed. That's a nice ending. I like this ending. It's making me cry, but I like this. And a classic shot, it pans up after they go to school.
こうして写し代で再び魂たちを
I knew it. I knew it. And that's Hugh over there, isn't it?
それは全てを忘れてしまっても親から子へそしてその先へ道は続いているという切ない物語の終焉
This is such a sweet ending. I am crying. I am crying so hard. It's such a happy ending. I'm crying. After everything we've been through this whole game, this is definitely the best ending I could have asked for. Oh my god, I'm crying my heart out. The choice of the girl has ended one world, but a kind and warm power is blessed by the flowers, guiding the souls where the sun shines once more. The witch vanishes, and the beasts dance with joy. Just like that story.
めでたしめでたし
And Hugh goes away. I will never figure out Hugh, will I? Okay, that is that one. This is the best ending. You cannot get better than this. This is the best ending of the whole game. I want to end it now, but we still have 2 endings to go through, which are smaller ones. I consider this finishing the game though, because this is the definitively best ending for me. And because it is probably the, you know, the true ending, probably going to go through the whole song. I can imagine. Or at least most of it. Yeah, it's the whole thing, I can imagine. Actually. God, if Bun were here, she would be crying her eyes out probably just as much as, if not more than me. Whole thing, but that's fine. Psychedelic up the Ashen Hawk. Jesus. Of course I would like to save that. Gentle ending, unlock the heroine's ending. I love this. I love this. Look at how nice it is. It's not even snow, it's just spring. Alright, let's look at the album. Gallery, 96%. Almost done. Literally 4 left. Which are probably locked behind the 2 endings. Same with the last movie as well. And all the roots and all that stuff. Looks like we might be 100%ing it after all. Load. And go to the flowchart. Right. We have all of the endings except for 2. I need to read the notes though. Looks like there's 2 more. Looks like there's 1 still left to unlock. To the flower. Let's go. This is back here. Everything around me was dim. My eyes weren't covered, nor did it suddenly become night. It was similar to the hazy sensation of a dream right before awakening, and it continued on without any end in sight. I see. I'll finally wake up from this dream. Oh, it's Olgar's POV. When he died. I mumbled that without thinking, but what was the emotion I was feeling? Relief? Regret? Or perhaps there was no emotion, simply emptiness. I didn't know what was inside of my own heart.
聞いてもいいかい？
Suddenly, there was a man standing next to me. It was Haku, the man who had served me for years. Now I remembered clearly. This was the man who told me of the Kaleido. His sudden appearance didn't surprise me anymore, but I was more confused by what he just said.
Watashiが
ずっと泣いていただろう。それこそ涙が枯れ果てるまで。いいや、枯れ果ててからもずっとね。
Though I thought he was speaking nonsense, it strangely made sense to me. I see, so I've been crying since that day.
結局私は何もなすことができなかった。
That was why I cried, because I had accomplished nothing. My tears could not be stopped.
アリアに死者に会いたいと願った。それが間違っていたのか。
それは罪じゃない。ごく自然な願いだよ。
So Hugh can even appear in here, I see. The man in front of me absolved me, but what of it? His empty words brought neither comfort nor atonement.
君は願い、そのせいで魔石の狂気に侵された。それだって仕方のないことだ。ただ一つ、君の罪をあげるなら、それは親友たちを殺したことだ。
Yes, that was my sin. Without a doubt. Apis did not need to die, there was no reason for me to kill him. And my wife was murdered by my own sister. She was dragged into the fray in a fit of passion. And I exiled my own friend into oblivion. And Francisca also was dragged into my lunacy.
だけどね、その親友たちは君を恨んでなんかいない。
バカな。
本当だよ。それを直接彼らに確かめる術はもうないけれど。でも、あれを見てごらん。
The man pointed in a certain direction. From there I could see a ray of light amidst the hazy darkness. Could it be my awakening was approaching, or perhaps eternal slumber?
君たちが生み、彼らが育てた光だ。君の最愛の妻が身ごもり、君の妹に慈しみ育てられ、君の友人に守られた。すべてをつないでくれる架け橋だ。君たちから受け継がれたものは子供たちが成した。僕はそれを見守り、綴っていたんだ。
True. The light grew stronger.
こういう時は格式ばった言い方をした方がいいのかな。さあ、お行きなさい。君の望むものがそ
The light became a pass. Past that pass, flowers bloomed and butterflies fluttered about. And there she was, the one I remembered. The one I desired so much was there. So the light from the Kaleido saved everyone in the abyss. So they didn't have to just float down there endlessly, turning into nothing. I don't want to cry anymore. I don't want to cry anymore.
アリア。
オルガ？本当にオルガなの？
ああ、私だと。すまない。私は。
いいの。私思い出したわ。あなたを信じてここにいたことを。あなたは絶対にここまで来てくれるって。あなたがまた私の名前を呼んでくれるって。
アリア。
おかえりなさい、オルガ。さあ、行きましょう。
The man went to the pass of light. There was no need to turn back anymore. What the man decided was right there. But I couldn't go there. The traveler could only show the way.
少しだけ羨ましいよ。自分の求めるものの姿が見える君が。
Ashenesis? Ashenesis? I'll say Ashenesis. The boy had changed, but as long as he remembered, he had different sensibilities from the others. Do not pick the flowers too roughly. Do not kill birds in vain. Even such concepts so easily understood by others were not understood by the boy. Why not? He asked. The incident that later befell him may have been an inevitability. One day, the boy gravely injured a child. The child belonged to a clan who was hostile toward his own.
この子は人間じゃない。
恐ろしい。まるで獣のようだよ。
そうに違いない。この子は獣の心を持っている。
The adults all feared the boy and jeered at him. They imprisoned the boy, not knowing what else they could do.
どうしてだろう。
The boy spoke to himself in the dark jail cell.
僕はただ友達になりたかっただけなのに。
Just as the others did not understand him, the boy did not understand a single person around him. This boy had the heart of a beast. Small wolf in the jail cell, that was what he was called. That rumor spread instantly, further solidifying a solitary life for the boy in the cell. At times he would see birds through the bars of the cell and yearn for the same. He sought freedom where he could fly the skies. How much time had passed since then? The boy was taken out of the cell and into a tower in the middle of the forest. He was told to live there from now on.
君がスモールウルフか。
There was a woman at the tower. A tall woman with a hawk on her shoulder.
あんたは？私は灰の魔女。そう呼ばれている。魔女？
Her eye turned red as he watched. A crimson eye, just like the legend said.
本当にいたんだ。君の心から獣を追い出すように頼まれた。
On that day forth, the boy lived with the witch. The witch said she would chase out the beast inside him, but she never did anything out of the ordinary. All she did was speak to him.
私はずっと旅をしてきた。世界中いろいろなところを。その途中でハイタカとも出会った。
The hawk on her shoulder flapped its wings in response. Ashen Hawk. That was apparently the hawk's name.
だいぶ昔のことだけど、怪我の手当てをしてやったら、すっかり懐いてしまってね。どうも私の肩を止まり木か何かだと思っているらしい。
The hawk flapped its wings slightly harder. The witch grew clematis flowers. While she tended to the flowers, the hawk flew freely in the sky. The witch also wrote picture books. The hawk would perch on the witch's shoulder to doze while the witch went about her writing. The witch wrote many different stories, happy stories as well as sad ones. But in every story there were always butterflies. All of the witch's picture books revolved around butterflies.
蝶は魂の乗り物だからね。
That was how the witch answered when the boy asked why.
私には子供がいるんだ。ゆえあって生まれてから一度も会えていないのだけど、君と同じくらいの年の女の子なんだ。
The witch smiled slightly. That was not the smile of a formidable witch, but that of a mother.
私はその子の、いや、子供たちのための物語が書きたいんだ。悲劇でも喜劇でもいい。それらは強く生きていくための魂の糧となるから。
The boy lived with the witch. He tended the flowers with the witch. He watched the hawk fly from the witch's shoulder. And the boy read the stories written by the witch. The boy enjoyed that life, and he yearned for it. He yearned for a way of life like that of the witch and the hawk, bound by nothing. That day, something happened for the first time. The hawk stopped on the boy's shoulder while he tended to the flowers, not on the witch's, but on the boy's. What the boy did next was something that no one could understand. Simply on impulse, the boy strangled the hawk with all his might. Hearing the hawk flap its wings loudly, the witch, who had been working far away, ran toward them. She slapped the boy as hard as she could, enough to knock him onto the ground. From the shock, the boy let go of the hawk. However, it was too late. The hawk would never cry or flap its wings anymore. Never would it fly the skies again. Why the hell would you strangle it? It had lost its life. The boy didn't understand what he just did. He yearned to be like the hawk. He desired the freedom that the bird had. But he has taken away the hawk's freedom for all of eternity. The witch said nothing. She didn't concern herself with the boy. She gave an offering of flowers on the corpse of the hawk and gently laid her hand on it. The witch mumbled something, and her fingertips began to gather light. White and black light gathered and intertwined. They soon took the shape of a butterfly, and it flapped its wings. It left the witch's hand and flew away, to the sky and beyond.
あの子の魂とはいつかまた巡り会える。魂とはそういうものだから。
Enthralled by that fantastical sight, he came back to his senses with her words. He finally felt the heat on his cheek where he was hit. And he cried. He did not cry out of pain. He felt a suffocating feeling in his heart when he thought of the hawk and the butterfly. Loneliness and regret sprouted from the boy's heart.
君とは今日でお別れだ。
Understandably, killed your hawk. Strangled it. The boy was confused at the sudden farewell.
どうして僕がハイタカを殺したから。
それもあるけれど、それだけじゃない。私は別の世界へ向かわなくてはいけなくなった。
別の世界。
君の物語を最後まで見届けることができなくて残念だ。
The person he respected would go away. It was a sad thing, but the boy had no way of stopping it. You're late, have a busy weekend. Don't apologize for being late. Honestly, Bun, you just missed probably the most heartwarming yet heart-wrenching ending possible. And I'll be honest, it's probably the best ending in the game. When I DM'd you saying I cried like a baby, I was not joking. I was crying my heart out. If you want to watch the VOD, you can. I can tell you what happened if you want. But honestly, if you want the full experience, I'd recommend watching the VOD or just finding the ending on YouTube. Because it's that good of an ending, I would recommend you watch it. It's that good of an ending. And after everything everyone's been through throughout the game, it's such a good ending. Oh, that's back, okay. You trying to rip my heart out? Hey, mine was ripped out as well, okay? It was ripped, then torn to pieces, then put back together again. Right? And then it came out all in tears. Buckets full and buckets full and buckets full of tears. Honestly, Bun, seriously. If there is any ending you should not miss, it was that one. If he stopped it, she would not have her freedom anymore. The witch took out what resembled a large, beautiful ornament decorated with 4 jewels.
カレイドビアという君の獣の心はたった今この中に収めた。
僕の心を。
そしてこれは魂の象徴であり、友の証でもある。君にもこれから友人ができるだろう。恋をすることもあるだろう。そのすべてを愛するんだ。
すべてを愛する。
そうだ。辛いことも楽しいこともすべて。すべてを合わせ持った君自身の物語を紡いでいくんだ。そうすれば自然と道はつながっていく。君たちの心に芽吹くすべての花々に。
The witch disappeared before the end of the day. The boy also left the tower that was now deserted.
まるでつきものが落ちたようじゃないか。
人の心を取り戻して帰ってきたのね。
これなら次期当主として何も問題はない。我らの一族は安泰だ。
After returning to the town, that was what the adults all said. His violent nature from before was long gone. He could now live among other people. The boy was able to blend in with the rest of the town. It's as if the past was nothing but a dream. No, if any part of it was a dream. After living in peace in the town for a while, the boy headed to the tower in the forest. Looking up at the tower from far away, he wondered.
こっちの方がよっぽど夢みたいだった。
The days he spent with the witch and the hawk, the world he yearned for was no longer, but it had to be a fact that it existed. The kaleidobia he held in his hands was proof of that. He heard footsteps from behind and turned around. There was another child there, a boy about his age. Upon looking at him, he was reminded of the hawk. The boy had a sharp gaze like that of a hawk and stared at him. No words were exchanged. Remembering what he did to the hawk, the boy felt a shiver down his spine. Right when he felt the impulse to run away from there.
君にもこれから友人ができるだろう。恋をすることもあるだろう。そのすべてを愛するんだ。
The witch's words came into the boy's mind. The boy was once feared as a small wolf, but the words of the witch gave him courage.
君、名前は？
オルガ。
僕はエイプリル。ねえ、オルガ。
It's April and Olga.
僕と友達になってくれないかな。
Save data. Right. Now, we need to go all the way back over here to 3-1. And I'm going to save right here, in slot number 34. Because I want to show you something, Bun. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this. It finally turned spring in the true ending. All I'm gonna say is the true ending, it turns into spring and the Collada Via is completed. And that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, apparently it's a weird thing where the ending is unlocked. Because apparently you need all the notes for the ending. It's a weird thing because apparently the ending is unlocked, but then the last note unlocks after the ending. Okay. Right, let's go get them. Last two. We should now have an option. A brand new option. Yeah. Brand new option. This is what we were waiting for. This is what I was waiting for the whole time. I'm gonna create a save file here because I want to see what is in both parts. So I'm gonna save right here in episode slot number 35. I'm gonna pick first off something felt off. He was mysterious and he wasn't direct about his intentions.
ところでふと耳に挟んだのですが、カレイドビアのことを聞いて回っているとか。
ええ、まあ何かご。
それはまあ。
Oh, it's just the same. Okay. Okay. Load. We're loading back. It's literally just the same as it would be. He seemed kinder than he did previously. Here we go. This is on a route to the ending. Why was it I felt closer to him than before?
悩みがあるときは絵物語を読むのがよろしいかと。
絵物語？絵本のことですか？
はい。物語は時に真実を語り、時に辛い現実を忘れさせてくれます。そんな幾多の終わりの中に悩みの答えがあるかもしれませんね。
This old man was confusing, but... Picture books, huh? I met someone who was looking for that recently. I remembered Ash briefly. He's not at the tavern today. My eyes met with the old man as I glanced around the area. I had looked away mid-conversation and was feeling slightly awkward. He, of course, paid no attention to that and just smiled. I bowed and thanked him.
ありがとうございます。今度読んでみます。
はい。あなたの心に収まる物語が見つかると良いですな。
I bowed again slightly and laughed. A few days passed. I went out to investigate that day. I dropped by the tavern since it was so familiar to me. I wonder if Ash is here today. The thought crossed my mind briefly. There were so few customers when I entered the tavern that I saw Ash immediately. He was there again in his usual seat, writing something in his notebook. It didn't seem like he noticed me coming in. He's as mysterious as usual. As there weren't that many customers, the loud voices of the others filled the air. I got the impression that time progressed much more slowly around Ash. I wonder if he'll be surprised if I talk to him all of a sudden. What sort of face would he make when he was surprised? I started to feel the childish urge to play a prank. I snuck up behind Ash without making a sound and
何を書いているんですか？
物語だよ。
a natural response came from him without turning around. That was disappointing. Didn't think he would be freaked out by it. But more than that, I wondered about Ash's words.
物語？
普通の女の子の物語。普通の女の子が一人の男性と出会って徐々に距離を縮めていってやがて恋をする。
That was simple, but it was a happy story. Story of an ordinary girl falling in love. I was surprised to learn that he would write something like this. He said that he wrote stories of people he met on his journeys. I wondered if Ash met a girl like that before.
つまらない話をしちゃったかな。
He's a sussy as fuck. Why do you keep thinking she was so sussy? What is your obsession with thinking that she was sus? He seemed to have taken my silence as boredom, so I hurried to reassure him.
いえ、そんなことは私はいいと思います。
本当に？
She was not sus. He is literally... Is he not though? He isn't! He's literally just as he says, he is literally just a traveler. He's literally just somebody who watches over things. He's literally just somebody trying to... I always think of him as kind of like a godly figure of sorts, where he's just watching over everyone and trying to write a story about it. And then when all is said and done, he just goes away after he got his story. It's still so sus that he appeared to April's after he became a ghost. Okay.
はい、そのなんていうか、普通の女の子の話って憧れますし。
I blushed out what I thought without any filter.
君だって普通の女の子じゃないか。
そうですね。
These words stung my heart. Could it be from the guilt of hiding my identity, or from how I couldn't reveal it? The positive feelings I had earlier suddenly deflated. In its place, a dark and heavy emotion came through. I looked down to see the hair from my wig drooping on my shoulders. It made me realize that I was no ordinary girl. This is not the real me, but I'm... It was weird. In the beginning, I really resisted wearing this outfit.
気に障ることを言ったかな。だとしたら申し訳ない。
あ、違うんです。
I realized I was acting strangely today. It was as if I was unable to properly control my emotions. Maybe I should leave for now, but...
また来てもよろしいですか？
I didn't want things to turn awkward, so I suggested that we meet again.
もちろんいつでも。ああ。でも一つだけお願いがあるから。
お願い？なん？
もっと普通の言葉で語りかけてほしいんだ。そのかしこまった喋り方は君に似合わない気がして。
Doesn't match me? Well, of course. I wasn't used to talking this way either.
ダメかな。
Pleaded to me while turning his head to the side. That gesture made him look cute. It was so unfitting of the man in front of me that it made me snicker. Since Ash was saying that, I should just oblige.
わかった。それじゃあまた来るね。
僕はいつもここで待っているから。
A gentle gaze turned toward me. It was the best smile Ash had given me since we met. That led me to drop by the tavern more often than before. To investigate, of course, but I always found myself at the tavern even when I had no particular business there. Somehow talking to Ash soothed my soul. He called me an ordinary girl. Even with the legends of the witch, he has a different perspective on it from the townspeople. Since he was from outside town, he didn't know who Jed was. That was why I didn't need to be too careful around him. I didn't have to be afraid of him finding out my true identity as I talked to him. What I had to do for everyone else, I didn't for him. That felt refreshing. When I came to the tavern as I usually did, Ash was always there as promised. He talked to me about many things.
世界には灼熱の大地というものがある。見渡す限りが砂の山で、そこを旅するんだ。
灼熱ってことはすごく暑いの？
それはもう昼間は照りつける光に焼かれ、夜は凍えるように冷えてしまう。
あまり住みやすそうなところじゃないね。
でも空が広くて 静寂が心地いい場所だった。よく一人で砂丘へ登って風に運ばれる砂の音を聞いたよ。夜は柔らかな砂のベッドに寝転び、空いっぱいに広がる星を眺めるんだ。
空いっぱいの星。
あ、でも砂漠の盗賊には気をつけて。僕は危険な目に遭ったこともある。
え？
気がついたら盗賊団の一員になっていたんだ。うっかりね。
うっかり？
そう。
本当に？
あの時は参ったよ。
And one time,
世の中にはね、雪を見たことがないという人もたくさんいるんだよ。そういった人たちはこの町のことを羨ましく思ってるんじゃないかな。
そんな、雪なんて迷惑なだけなのに、冷たいし濡れるし足元は滑るし。
毎日雪に囲まれているとそう考えるようになるんだね。
アッシュはどう思ってるの？
初めてこの町に来た時はとても美しい雪景色だと思ったよ。でも
でも？
やっぱり毎日は勘弁してほしいかな。
そうだよね。あ、でも大雪にもいいことが一つあるよ。
何？
温めたシチューがいつもよりずっと美味しく感じられる。
なるほど、それはいいことを聞いた。今度試してみよ
うんうん。
その時はぜひ君も一緒に。一人より二人の方がもっと美味しく感じられそうだ。
during another time,
アッシュは海も見たことあるの？
それはもちろん。ああ、君はこの町から出たことがないんだったね。だから海も知らない。
知識としては知ってるんだけど、どんなものなのか想像もつかなくて。
言葉で伝えるのは難しいね。海の広さは自分の目で見ないと多分実感することはできない。
そうか。それじゃあ私には一生縁がないものなのかな。
そんなことはないさ。いつか町の外に出る機会だってきっと。その時は僕が道案内を仰せつかろうかな。どこかの海を見渡せる小高い丘まで。
imagine if God flirted with you, Ash, down bad for that. I mean, I suppose in a way, at least how I see it, Ash slash Hugh slash Haku, he goes by many names. To me, he says he's merely just a traveler watching over everyone. I don't know if I'd quite call him a god, but I say he has like that kind of godly presence. As in, he definitely has some sort of otherworldly presence. But I would say he's definitely some sort of a godly figure per se. I heard many stories of the sort, always of the world outside of town. Talking with Ash was fun, but it made me slightly envious of him. The more I heard his stories, the more I wanted to know. I wanted to learn of the outside world and also about Ash. We were growing closer and closer. After a while, Ash began to share what was written inside one of his notebooks. There were notes on what he saw and heard in the many places he had seen, written like they were stories. Sometimes he would stop talking and show me his handbook. There were sad stories, funny stories, suspenseful stories, exciting stories. All of them were worlds I had never seen before. The time I spent with Ash became something I looked forward to every day.
この主人公の子、好きだな。
I stated my opinion after finishing reading a part of his handbook. On this day, Ash let me read a story he wrote, as he always did. It was the story of the ordinary girl that he briefly mentioned the other time.
気に入ったならよかった。まだ書き途中で評価は難しいと思うけど。
いいと思う。続きが早く読みたい。
ありがとう。
Ash smiled happily at me. I couldn't say anything considerate, but when he smiled that way I felt a little flustered. There was one thing that I was wondering about. Ash's stories were about the people he met on his journeys, which meant he had met that girl as well. Maybe I should ask him. I was always asking him questions, but for some reason I was strangely reluctant today.
この子可愛くていい子だよね。そのアッシュはこの子と
I wondered why I couldn't continue. Probably because that girl in the story is probably you, that's why it's only half written.
どうしたの？
なんでもない。
I shouldn't. Nothing would come of asking him anyway. I didn't want to make this awkward. At least that was what I thought.
君も可愛くていい子だよ。
That was so sudden. I wonder if it was one of his usual jokes. Ash sometimes did things like that. I looked towards him to see him staring at me with his usual look on his face. His eyes were fixed onto me, unmoving. What? Those serious eyes caused me to be overcome with embarrassment. I was blushing red. Ash was usually like this, but why was I so agitated today?
またそういう冗談。
僕から見れば、君は素敵な女の子だ。どうしたの？
Why was he doing this all of a sudden? There was no way I could calm myself down. 'His compliment made me blush like never before. This isn't fair. My heart raced even faster. I'd never felt this way before. It's different from when I run all out. It was hotter, raising the temperature of my whole body. Jed really implying that maybe Ash and that girl were a couple. Ash's hand reached my cheek. My shoulders twitched and I felt the heat within my body converge into my right eye. I covered my right eye instinctively. My eye turned red. Did he see it? Right when I knew that I messed up, it was already too late. Ash was staring at my face. While I could feel myself turning pale, the heat of my eye still burned. Please stop, hurry, hurry. I was helpless to it, so I closed my eyes. I hid my face with my shaking hands.
急にどうしたの？
He asked me as if nothing happened.
今私の目。
目がどうかしたのかい？
おかしくなって。
I was stuttering. Did he see it? If he did, then I couldn't ask him. I was too afraid.
どれどれ？
Ash gently held the hand that covered my eye. I felt weak. I couldn't resist him as he pulled my hand away. My right eye still felt hot. Please don't look. If you saw this, I...
何もおかしくないよ。
That was impossible. It was the witch's eye. There was no way it wasn't strange.
とても綺麗な瞳だ。何もおかしなところはない。
He repeats it to reassure me. Yet my heart was still racing.
でも
まったくそういうのはお家でやってくださいね。
うわ！
おかわりお持ちしました。
The tavern employee slammed mugs onto the table.
どうもありがとう。
はいはい。ああ、忙しい忙しい。
Sir? Was that a tavern employee? I'm sure she also saw my face. And yet she walked away as if nothing happened. My eyes still felt hot. I cautiously looked around. It was far from being packed, but there were still customers here and there. But no one seemed to care about me.
どうして？
Ash didn't say anything more. He looked at me anxiously. This was strange. It was like I was the only one feeling weird. It's like no one is saying anything even after seeing my witch's eye. About to get Jed exposed? Yeah, but no one seems to care. My mind reached its limit in confusion and I ran outside. I ran far away without saying goodbye to Ash. What did it mean? I tried to remember what happened today. After running at full speed, I had returned to the tower before I knew it. I threw myself into a chair and couldn't move for a while. I continued to breathe heavily and slowly the confusion in my mind finally seemed to subside. I thought there would be a commotion, that I wouldn't be able to stay here anymore. When my emotions were heightened, my right eye turned red. Red eye was proof of the witch in this town. That was what I thought. Ash and the people at the tavern didn't react to it at all. I knew for sure my eye had turned red. Was it really red? There was no way to find out. It was then a spark of doubt crossed my mind, something that I've never thought of after I learned about my eye. I'd never seen my eye turn red myself. I had that feeling when my eye felt hotter. There was no way to see it. Unless people around me told me my eye was red, I would never know. I thought my eye turned red today, but no one said anything. Maybe it didn't? I don't know, I can't know. Someone would have to tell me. Didn't realize that until today. Why couldn't I recognize something like that all this time? I need to clear my throat. It was something that only mattered if others noticed it. There was no joy or surprise, a slight chill seemed to go up my spine. It was Francisco who told me my eye turned red. And the only ones who know it were Francisco and Ashen Hawk. What if they were both lying? Even if it wasn't a lie, what if they were mistaken? I couldn't outright deny that possibility, I didn't want to. Maybe my eye doesn't turn red. There was even a slight chance.
もう一度確かめてみるしかない。
I called to Ashen Hawk, but as expected he was nowhere to be found. I knew that he was never fit to confirm these things. I decided to wait until the next morning to seek the advice of someone I trusted. Watch Ash be there. I wonder if Francisca is here. I walked slightly slower than usual on these familiar stairs. Because I came without warning, I had thought she might be out, but luckily Francisca was home.
あらジェドいらっしゃいじゃないわねおかえりなさい
I really can't look at this face in a positive light ever.
フランシスカ、いきなりごめん。
Ever since well, ever since really the first ending, I cannot look at this face with the same. I can't look at this face the same anymore. I just look at this face and it fills me with disgust. I tried to exchange the usual salutations, but saw an unexpected face. It was Ash. What was he doing here? I remembered what happened yesterday and my heart jumped.
どうも、はじめまして。
Ash spoke in an inquisitive tone, while I fought back the anxiety rising within me. He said pleased to meet me. Oh, that's right. It's the first time we've met him in men's clothing.
こちらの少年は
ジェドというの私のもう一人の子供よ
どうも、はじめまして。
そうですか。僕はアッシュです。突然お邪魔して申し訳ありませんでした。
And curt exchange of greetings. Then again, that was to be expected because we hadn't met before.
では、僕はこれで。
ええ心ゆくまでこの町に滞在していって
Without turning around, Ash left the room. That's it? Of course. To Ash, I wasn't the girl at the tavern. It would be more odd to act so friendly towards someone you just met. But still, it made me feel strangely lonesome. It made me feel like the distance between us had grown wider.
フランシスカ、今の人は
旅の方なんですってしばらく町に滞在したいからってわざわざご挨拶に律儀なことね
そうなんだ
それであなたは私に用があってきたんでしょ
That's right, I needed to ask about my red eye. I shook my head once in an effort to clear the fuzziness from my mind.
あのさ、フランシスカ
It might be quicker to show her than to explain it. Until now, I'd never tried to do this intentionally. I focused on my right eye. I remembered the feeling I had when it happened and it gradually grew hotter. Yes, this was the feeling. My eye should be red right now.
どうしたの 急に怖い顔して。
え？
ごめんなさい。怒らせるようなことをしてしまったかしら。
Hello, my little doll who was stolen from my brother and the woman who took my happiness away.
心当たりが多すぎて、どれのことかわからないけれど。
Jeez.
違う、そんなんじゃなくて、本当にそれだけ？
それだけって言われても。
Francisca looked troubled by my actions. There had never been a time where she wouldn't comment on my eye turning red. I needed to ask her one other thing.
さ、俺の右目って魔女の目だよね。
ジェド、そんな大きな声で。
普段は普通の瞳だけど、感情が高ぶると赤くなって。
やめなさい。確かにあなたの瞳は特徴的だけれど、決して魔女なんかじゃないわ。
That's a lie. She was scolding me seriously. It wasn't a lie that my eye did turn red before. And right now...
ジェド、
ごめん、変なこと言って。
まったくよ。何かあったの？私にできることがあれば
No,
何でも
no,
相談に
child.
乗るわ。
I've manipulated you to believe I'm your lovely mother figure. Don't scowl at me like that. My lord.
なんでもないんだ、本当に。それじゃあ今日は帰るね。
あ、ジェド。
I tried to get away from the manor as quickly as I could. It was then a thought crossed my mind. The way Francisca reacted, could it be that my red eye has been fixed, my witch's eye is gone? That hope sprung up in my heart. Maybe my eye no longer turned red. If that was the case, there was no more need to fake my gender. No one would ever call me a witch again. I didn't have a red eye. I could return to being a normal girl. I couldn't believe something like this could happen. I could even wear clothes like Francisca does. I could pick and choose accessories, grow out my hair, and even wear makeup. There were things that I thought I would never have, and they suddenly fell into my lap. I can return back to being a normal girl. Right when I saw that, suddenly Ash's face came to mind. He had a rather distant demeanor because I was a man. But if I was a woman, I would always be a woman. Impatiently, I hurried back to the tower so that I could change into women's clothes. I wanted to change into different clothes and return to town. I'd run a long distance, so I was short of breath. I couldn't meet him like this. I tried to calm my breathing before heading to the tavern. Ash was sitting in his usual seat, but he seemed a bit restless. When our eyes met, he smiled brightly. I was sure that I was making the same kind of smile.
よかった。今日は会えないかと思ってた。
どうして？
昨日あんな別れ方をしてしまったから、きっと僕が怒らせたんだろうと思って。
違うんだ。あれは私の事情で、私の方こそ。
いいんだ。今日も君は来てくれた。それだけでいい。
I finally remembered my attitude yesterday. I was actually glad Ash wasn't mad at me instead. I sat down across from Ash and wondered what to talk about today. What kind of story would he tell me? Right when I thought that...
もういや、やってられない。
A loud yell echoed throughout the tavern.
毎日安い給料でこき使われて、もううんざりだわ。
Oh
あ
damn.
の人とだってろくに会えないし、別れたら店長のせいなんだから。
おい、落ち着けって。こんな客の見てる前で。
知らない。私もうやめる。こんな店。
God damn. The waitress tore off her apron and slammed it onto the floor before she left. I wasn't sure exactly what happened, but I suppose she couldn't take being so busy anymore. When I entered the tavern, I only had eyes for Ash. And now that I looked around, all the seats were filled. Front row seats to tavern drama, I know, right? And most of them were relatively big men that would eat and drink plenty. Was she and the owner the only ones dealing with all these customers? And as for those customers, only a handful looked uneasy over the exchange, while the remainder watched the trade with amusement. Some of them were also drunk, and soon they began to yell at the owner.
おい、振られちまったとこ悪いんだけどよ。注文頼むわ。
Rip.
店長、こっちもだ。大皿2人前、追加でよろしく。飲み物来ねえぞ。 いつまで待たせんだ。待ってくれ。ないっぺんに言われても。
If it was a prank, they were taking it too far. The owner seemed to be confused at what to do. I'd like to help, but
僕のことはいいよ。言っておいで。
his words encouraged me. I stood up from my seat and headed to the confused owner.
よかったら手伝います。
本当か。そいつは助かる。
I was instantly hired. The owner's face was half crying, half smiling. It seemed he really was in trouble.
でも店で出すような料理とかはあまり自信が。
そっちは俺がやる。あんたは客の相手を任せた。
Damn, the cook left? Damn! After saying that, the owner ran into the kitchen.
なんだ、もう代わりが見つかったのかよ。
おい、大皿2人前っつってんだろ。誰でもいいから早くしろ。
Alright. I picked up the apron the girl threw down and wrapped it around my waist.
はい、ただいまお伺いします。
I was so busy my head was spinning. Orders came in one after another. Right when I saw the table finished, new customers replaced them. There was no time to take even a small break. At first I thought the girl was selfish, but now I knew exactly how she felt. It didn't make it right for her to abandon her job.
Ah, ありがとうございました。
I sent off another group of customers with a raspy voice. The number in the tavern had finally lessened a bit. The feelings of relief made me feel weak. My arms and legs were also sore.
こっちはもういいから休んでてくんな。
はい。
I should do as he says for now. I sat down on a nearby seat and threw myself down on the table. I didn't think I could move another step.
お疲れ様。大変だったね。
Although I couldn't move another step, I could turn my neck. I looked up to see who was talking to me. Was he waiting for me the entire time?
ごめんアッシュ。
謝ることはないよ。
でも
君が働いてるところをずっと見てた。飽きることはなかったよ。
What did he mean by that? Was he complimenting me or teasing me? I felt embarrassed and looked down again.
いや、助かったぜ。ほら、これはおごりだ。
This time I heard the owner. He dropped down a glass onto the table. Now that I thought about it, I hadn't eaten anything. I took it with gratitude.
しかし、大した手際だったな。あんた、こういうとこ働いた経験あんのかい？
The handyman definitely came in handy.
少しだけですけど。
When I worked as a handyman, I sometimes did service jobs like this. See, told you.
そりゃますますすげえな。なあ、物は相談なんだがよ。
He wants to hire.
だったらうちで働いてくれねえか。
Can't Doka pay if we just walk out and we didn't give people the wrong idea? I was literally just saying, yeah, because of the handyman job that Jed does. It was kind of like a pun. It's pretty handy to have that because, you know, it gives you experience in the field of working in a tavern. I didn't see where you can get a wrong idea from that at all. And they literally just proved my point further with the line after it, so I don't know what you mean the wrong idea.
はい。
見ての通り、さっき一人逃げられちまったからよ。人を増やさねえととてもじゃねえがやっていけねえ。
Talking about the colloquial definition of handy. What the heck is a colloquial? Used in familiar conversation. Yeah, handy. As in something's good to have around. That's what I meant. the down bad meaning. Right.
はあ、でも私一人じゃ。
I managed to get through it today, but I wasn't confident I could do it again.
ああ、もちろん他にも雇う。それに今日みてえに忙しいのは珍しいんだ。普段はもっと楽だからよ。
でも。
I had my job as a handyman, so I couldn't easily agree to it.
頼む。給料だって弾むし、あんたみてえに働ける女の子はなかなかいねえんだよ。この通り。
Girl, that's right. I'll be working as girl here. As girl. Not as a girl, just as girl. If I worked as a handyman, I'd need to dress like a man, but I didn't really want to do that. I glanced to my side to look. I wondered what he thought about it.
君がここで働くようになったら確実に毎日入るようになるね。
He said those words of encouragement again.
昼の間だけでよければ。
ああ、それでいい。よし、決まりだな。
Seemed like it was. This might be a good opportunity. I could gradually reduce my handyman work and eventually, if I can be that way in the future, I want it to happen soon. Felt like a whole new world opened up to me. Thanks to that, all my fatigue seemed to melt away.
それじゃあ明日また来ます。今日はそろそろ。
これから一人で帰るのかい？
I looked outside and it was already dark. Had it been working this long? Well, I'm used to walking at night.
大丈夫だよ。このくらいなら。
いや、よくねえ。こんな時間に女の子一人で返せねえよ。
Maybe because I wasn't used to being treated like a girl, I didn't know how to respond.
部屋ならいくつか空いてるしよ。今夜はうちに泊まってきな。
I emoji. Yes, bun. Exactly. I emoji.
でも。
そうさせてもらうといい。僕も一部屋借りてるけど、寝心地は悪くないよ。
I emoji. Ayo. Ash was staying here too. No wonder he was at the tavern every day. Then I guess I don't have to worry too much.
あ、でもこの酒場って。
But I thought they did nighttime work too, the type that couldn't be publicly announced. Imagine if Ash is staying here, is he? My head spun and I could tell my face was blushing red. Literally, the highest of I emojis right now.
安心しな。そっちの仕事は別の場所だ。うちはあくまで健全な酒場だからな。
何の話かな？
なんでもない。
I was so close to blurting out my thoughts again. Oh yeah, Ash didn't know. That's a relief. Afterwards, the owner took me to my room where I would stay for the night. Nice bed. It was clean and did look comfortable. At the very least, more so than the tower where I lived.
なんならここに住み込みで働いてくれても構わねえぞ。
それは考えておきます。
April would worry if Jed didn't return to the tower, exactly. It wasn't something I could decide on immediately, so I just said that for now. After the owner exited, I was left alone in the room. Suddenly, as if my body just remembered, I collapsed in fatigue. I didn't try to resist it and just fell onto the bed. What was this? I was tired, but it was a good kind of tiredness. I felt fulfilled and open. It was probably because the fog in my heart was slightly lifted. The fog that had hidden my true feelings since childhood. It might take a little longer until it was completely lifted.
このまま普通に。
When would I be freed from the witch's eye? When could I return to being a normal girl? I just want to live a normal life like any other girl, not the life of a witch. Also, Apris or Ashen Hawk would be not the Ashen Hawk that was the hawk that got strangled, but the Ashen Hawk that we've known for practically the entire game, the ghost. The ghost of Apris. He would be very lonely if Jed wasn't at the tower, because if you think about it, he's a ghost around that tower all by himself. With that hope in my heart, I fell asleep. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended there. Oh, not quite.
朝。
I woke up in an unfamiliar room. I instantly realized that what happened yesterday was no dream.
そっか、私。
I was in a room in the tavern instead of the tower. I'd be working here starting today. I tried to fix my outfit before heading downstairs.
やあ、おはよ
おはよ
Felt weird seeing him greet me like that, especially when he just woke up.
う。ずいぶんと早いんだね。
う。アッシュの方こそ。
The man I'd spoke with the past few days was having an elegant morning tea. It was before opening time, so it might be a service for lodging guests. While I was thinking that, Ash stared at me while holding onto his teacup. He was smiling playfully.
何？私の顔何かついてる？
寝起きの顔を見たのは初めてだから新鮮だと思って。あとついてるといえば口の周りによだれの跡が少し。
I was caught off guard. I didn't think I'd see Ash first thing in the morning. But I'd lived as a man all my life, so I never quite took care of my appearance.
おう、おはようさん。今日もよろしく頼むぜ。
I ignored the gruff call of the owner and headed back into my room.
ちょっと顔洗ってきます。
おお、なんだ顔真っ赤にして。なんかあったのか？
So unladylike, I know.
さーてね。
I could hear Ash snickering as I ran off. That was too embarrassing. And with that, a new day began in a way I'd never experienced before.
木の実の卵パイとリブ肉の香草焼き、あとエール3つですね。
おい、こっちもエール追加だ。
My god, man.
はーい、ただい
It wasn't as busy as yesterday, but there were a lot of customers today. I left the kitchen to the owner and was alone in the dining hall. What would have happened if I hadn't offered to help? I was so busy I didn't have time to think of the answer, and time continued to pass.
ご苦労さん。そろそろ上がっていいぜ。
はい、お疲れ様でした。
しかしすまなかったな。昼の間だけって話だったのによ。
え？
When I looked out the window, it was just as dark as yesterday. I was working that long. I didn't take breaks or eat anything. I was impressed and also a bit shocked at myself.
でよ、どうする？今日も泊まっていくか？
What should I do? Not going back 2 nights in a row actually won't be that big of a problem. But... I thought of the person I saw out of the corner of my eye. He was so focused writing something that he didn't hear our conversation. We hadn't spoken since the morning pleasantries. Maybe it was because of that I didn't want to leave.
それじゃあもう一晩だけ。
ああ、自分の家だと思って遠慮なく使ってくれていいからよ。
The next day I woke up at the tavern again. It wasn't a dream. I awoke with a sense of relief. The next day and the day after I stayed at the tavern without returning to the tower. You just never returned? Poor Ashen Hawk, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing? And by doing that I lived a life as a girl each day. He became a part of my life and gradually we spent more time together. We greeted each other in the morning and ate breakfast together before opening. Wait, was gonna be lonely AF now, I know, right? It's like, if there was an edit here, I'd just have like a picture of long-haired April just having like a tick on his eye and it would just be pointing at him like, look at this poor guy. He's so lonely right now. Look at his sad face. Just have like a frowny face on him. That's how I'd imagine it. And after learning the ropes here, I was able to take more breaks. I used that time to talk with him. When the sun set and the tavern closed, I said my goodbyes to end the day. I did feel a little guilty. I'd been completely skipping my work as a handyman. I'd also stopped visiting Francisca as I used to go all the time. But if I returned to the tower or to Francisca, I had the feeling my life here would vanish like a dream. If I returned as the man Jed, maybe the right... How y'all? What is that? If I returned as the man Jed, maybe the red eye would return too. I would live a life in fear of being called a witch again. Being pushed by that fear, I continued to cling onto life here. I was pulled away from my sweet dream and woke up. It was dark all around me. This was not the tower. It wasn't the bed I've dreamed was burning. Good. Who was I? I'm not Jed or the witch. Then who am I? You are Ayer. I rubbed my arms with my palms. Felt like I was thrown out into the cold and desolate world on my own. Ah! It's a choice, it's a choice, it's a choice. Save, 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 save. It's a choice. Okay. And then from here it's the Link's ending. So, to get the ending we're going for, we just go back to sleep. I'll say one more time. Go to sleep. I should go to sleep. I climbed into the warm sheets and soon dozed off. My vision faded and I fell into a dream.
お姉ちゃん、いつもの。
はーい。鴨肉のローストと大ジョッキお願いします。
はいよ。今日はなんかおすすめある？
いい野菜が入ったって店長言ってましたけど。
野菜か。まあたまにはいっか。じゃあ野菜たっぷりシチューのセットで。
かしこまりました。
I became more skilled in this line of work by the day. I was also starting to remember what the regulars like to eat. Because of that, I was also able to take small breaks here and there.
すっかり看板娘だね。
そんなんじゃないよ。
During my breaks, I always stood here. Right next to Ash, she sat at the same table reading books every single day.
そうかな。君目当てのお客さんもいるみたいだけど。
まさかそんな。
おーい、注文頼む。
はーい、ただいま。ごめん、行ってくる。
They were always short breaks, so I wasn't able to talk too much, but I was actually pretty satisfied with that. Ash, on the other hand, I took care of the orders and quickly returned to my usual position.
ごめんね、話の途中で。
本当に大人気だね。
There was something pointed out about the way he said that.
そんなんじゃないって。私はただ仕事で。
そうだよね。わかってるよ。僕としてはちょっと面白くないけど。
He wants to be with her quite a lot. I've never seen Ash act like this. It was like he was pouting or sulking. I think Levy made this kind of face when Francisca praised Lovin. Was it even possible for Ash to sulk when he was older than me? Levy was sometimes childish, so he probably couldn't help it.
アッシュ？
I tried to get him to cheer up, but was immediately interrupted.
やっちまった。安っぽいグラス使ってやがるな。
Oh no.
もうあんた飲みすぎ。ちょっと店員さん、これさっさと片付けて。
At this point, I wonder if she'll forget a relationship with Lavin, Levy, Lucas, Francisca, T, and the others is Jed. I wouldn't think so. I think she would remember. She would remember it as memories, but because she doesn't want to let go of this life of living as Ayer as she wanted to without being forced to live as Jed. For her own safety, I think that she will keep them in her memories, but she'll always be here in this ending. Dude looks like some ugly Persona NPC, right?
はい。
The customer had dropped his glass onto the floor. He had been coming here quite often these past few days. He was with a woman today and was rather drunk. He had some nerve drinking so much during the day. The glass had Ash to apologize. They went to clean up the broken glass.
でもいいの？彼女のことほったらかしで。
酒がまずくなる話すんじゃねえよ。いいんだよ。
あいつがいなくなったからようやくこの店で飲めるようになったし。
Even while I was crouched down to clean up, they were still talking. Well, they were customers and it was pointless to get mad at drunks. You could at least say you were sorry. I got slightly irritated as I thought that and I heard someone approaching me. I wondered if it wasn't looked up.
そういうことだったんだ。
ああ、なんでお前がここに。
Oh. Oh, he about to get destroyed. The previous worker is gonna one-punch his face into oblivion.
ああ、最悪。
I could sense an impending fight coming on. She was the girl who used to work here before me.
この浮気者、最
違う、これはそういうんじゃ。まあそうだよな。
私知らない。そういうのは二人だけでやって。じゃあね。
She's like, your ex is here? Ew, I'm gonna bounce. She's like, I'm out of here.
おい待て。
One part.
待つのはあんたの方よ。私が必死に働いてる間に別の女作ったりして。
だからそういうんじゃねえって。
信じらんない。この浮気男、死んじゃえ。
なに？そこまで言われる筋合いはねえぞ。元はと言えばお前が仕事ばっかにかまけてるから。
That's not a good excuse, especially when she's working to provide for the family. And you're just going here getting drunk, going with some other girls. Because, oh, my wife or my girlfriend doesn't pay enough attention to me because she's working so she can earn money. That's what you sound like.
はあ？何それ？私のせいにする気？
The couple started arguing while they were still crouched on the floor. What should I do? I felt I should stop them, but I didn't want to get involved.
私だって会えないのが嫌で仕事辞めたのに、それなのにあんたは。
ああ、うっせえな。お前のその口やかましいのは前からうんざりだったんだよ。
なんですって？今さらそんなこと言うの？
この店見てみろ。お前が辞めて新しい子が入っただけでこんなに雰囲気良くなったじゃねえか。なあ、あんたも自分でそう思うだろ？
I got dragged into the mess without knowing it. That really was out of line. I was almost certain that she was working really hard. Otherwise, you wouldn't last even for a day. I was about to give him a piece of my mind when... She must have been really shocked. The girl was crying, her voice muffled.
ひどい。私だって一生懸命やってたのに。
Maybe you should be the one working non-stop for them then. Yeah, exactly. See how it is.
今のは勢いで言っちまっただけで。
Bruh, you're really trying to save face after you made her cry after he literally just admitted that he thought she was annoying and that the place was better off without her. Bruh. I really didn't mean that. Honestly, get this man out of here. You're just a horrible human being.
だからって言っていいことと悪いことがあるよ。
何よ。あんただってどうせ私のことをそう思って。
そんなことないよ。君がいた時からここは大繁盛してたんだから。むしろ私に代わってから少しお客さんは減ったかもしれない。喋るぐらいの余裕ができたしね。
本当にそう思ってる？
She seemed to be calming down. The man did as well and was looking slightly awkward at the situation.
この人と会える時間がなかったから怒ってやめちゃったんだね。最初は自分勝手な子だなって思ったけど、今ならその気持ち少しだけわかるよ。
悪かった。俺も寂しくってさ、お前に会えなくて。でもさっきの女はそういうんじゃねえんだ。 本当にただの遊び友達で。
でもあんた全然会ってくれなかったし。
お前が仕事辞めたって聞いて嬉しい反面、俺なんかのためにって気持ちもあって合わす顔なかったんだよ。俺が情けなかっただけだ。だから許してくれ。この通り。
She was still pouting a bit. It was like she couldn't bring herself to forgive him yet. I was sure they both loved each other very much, that much I could tell.
自分に正直にならないとダメだよ。でもせっかく好きな人同士で付き合ってるんだからね。
I knew I was getting nosy, but I wanted people who loved each other very much to stay together.
今回だけだからね。
ああ、約束する。
After saying that, the two hugged. The other customers were watching with bated breath and they all cheered and applauded at the same time. This is amazing. The owner came out of the kitchen.
いやー、悪かったな。俺が働かせすぎちまったせいでよ。
私の方こそいきなりやめちゃって。
それでよ、物は相談なんだがまたここで働いてくれねえか。もちろん仕事は減らす。前の半分でもいい。だから。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
An even bigger cheer came from the crowd. It seemed all was well that ended well. The two of them hugged once more, not even hiding how happy they were, and with the blessings of everyone around them. That's nice. If I ever were to have a lover, would I be like that? Although it would be too embarrassing to do that in public. Whoops, I left Ash hanging. He was quite irritated when this commotion started. With the couple made up behind me, I returned to the usual spot.
アッシュごめん。なんだか大きな騒ぎになっちゃって。
自分に正直にならないと。
何？
Because the customers were still cheering, I couldn't make out Ash's mumblings.
なんでもないよ。それより今日の夜、時間あるかな？
夜？多分大丈夫だけど。
よかった。それじゃあまたその時に。話したいことがあるんだ。
After saying that, Ash left his table. This was the first time he left while he was still working. I was sure it would be fine. He was smiling a bit more. But I wonder what he wants to talk about. He wants to be honest with his feelings, doesn't he? Or honest with himself. After finishing work, I was restless in my room. Usually I'd take a bath and go to sleep, but I promised to meet Ash tonight. He never came back after that. Another person sat at his usual table and I felt reluctant serving it. Should I just wait here or should I go and see him? Right when I was starting to get even more impatient, I heard a knock on my door.
ごめん、待たせちゃったかな。
そんなことないけど。
I tried to hide how impatient I'd been.
ならよかった。それじゃあ行こうか。
行くってどこへ？
それはついてからのお楽しみ。
He took my hand as we headed into town. The fog wasn't that thick, but I could barely see Ash's back. I doubted he'd go too far, that was what I thought. Snowdrop field? Snowdrop field, yeah. He led me through the town and into the forest.
アッシュ？
いいからいいから。
He cut me off. I'd been through this forest by myself when I still lived in the tower. There were times when I walked through it even later. But I wondered why the forest felt so scary today. Without knowing, I gripped Ash's hand tighter.
もう少しだから。ほら。
I looked up and saw a bright white light. There was an open area of the forest where it appeared snow had piled up. But I was wrong. I walked a little further and felt something soft at my feet. It wasn't a cold feeling of snow, it was something much warmer than that. I knew it was a snowfield. The fog lifted above the white light. My vision cleared and I saw a field of snowdrop flowers.
君に見せたかったんだ。
Ash smiled as I stood there, speechless. I didn't know. I'd lived in this town and this forest for so long, but I never knew there was a place like this. The town was covered in snow year round, and I couldn't believe there was a place where flowers bloomed.
こんな場所があったんだ。
僕も最初に見た時は驚いた。
どうして私をここに？
It wasn't often Ash hesitated to speak. He covered his mouth in a way that made it seem like he was embarrassed rather than troubled.
率直に言うとね、君に恋をしてしまったんだ。
I knew it. That was so sudden.
自分に正直にならないとダメだ。そうだから僕も自分に正直に君に気持ちを伝えようと思ったんだ。
でも
First thing that came out of my mouth was rejection. But how am I supposed to follow him from... How am I supposed to follow from there? But I'm a witch? No, I'm not a witch. My eye didn't turn red anymore. But I'm a man? That wasn't it either. Since I was no longer a witch, I didn't need to dress as a man. I could be a girl for as long as I wanted. I really didn't know how to continue. The only thing in my heart right now. I'm so happy. I was happy that Ash thought of me that way. I was happy that he felt for the girl me. I could feel heat in my cheeks. To be honest, I wanted to tell him about my own feelings. I tried to find the right words.
私もあなたのことが好き。
本当？
I nodded slightly.
そばにいるとドキドキするし、でも離れると寂しいし、もっと一緒にいたいって思う。こんなこと初めてでわからないんだけど、これが恋なのかな。
Kiss, 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 kiss.
そう。それが恋だよ。
そっか、これが。私、アッシュに恋してるよ。
嬉しい。
Ash smiled at my answer. His smile filled my heart with happiness. Just as snowdrops fell at my feet, it was as if I was floating on air.
ねえ、君に触れたいんだけど。
He asked so reservedly, but I couldn't refuse the intensity behind the words. I wanted to feel more of this happiness. If he held me, maybe I'd feel that. If he held me, maybe I'll feel it more. Ash's arms held me gently as if he was protecting something precious. He was warm. Gallery completion at 100%. There we go. I genuinely feel with this playthrough I might just 100% the game unknowingly. I wanted to get all the lore and all the story of the game and I ended up 100%ing it. We got 2 more things to go and that's it. 100% completed Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. Actually my first game I would have 100% completed every achievement for. And I feel proud of that I 100%ed a game, even if it was a visual novel, I 100%ed at least one game. I am proud of myself. Such a weird ending. To be honest, a few of them are. He whispered into my ear. I felt the same way. I never knew how I could feel at ease just by someone holding me like this. Having someone by my side like this.
知り合って間もないのに。
不思議だよね。でもだから君と一緒にいたいと思った。君に僕の物語を読んでほしくなったんだ。
Among Ash's stories, one left a strong impression on me. It was the ordinary love story of an ordinary girl. Just a little while ago I longed to be like that girl, and now I was.
どうして謝るの？
僕の物語を読んでもらうということは君から物語を奪うことだから。君がこれから読むはずだったいくつもの物語を。
それは違うよ。私が読みたかったから読んだんだ。私がアッシュに会いたかったから、自分の意志で酒場に通ってアッシュの物語を手に取ったんだ。
Ayo, sir. Ash brought me closer to him. I got the feeling that he was shaking just slightly.
僕はずっと一人きりで旅をしてきた。それはとても寂しかったんだ。
Now you have a partner to travel with. It's wholesome.
だから今はとても嬉しいんだ。こうして君が僕を受け入れてくれて。
Me too. I'm happy that I'm with you, Ash. Ash said that he was lonesome, but I was likely the same. I faked my identity and no one knew the real me. I felt so lonely that no one would know who I was as a girl. Ash's face was close to mine. In his eyes, I saw myself as a woman. Only Ash saw me as a woman. The wind blew and the snowdrop petals danced up in the air. They engulfed me, separating us into our own worlds, taking us somewhere far away.
おとぎ話のような光景だね。
うん。とっても綺麗だ。
I know, I'll say farewell to my past right here and now. The snowdrop petals and this man in whose arms I was made me decide that. After I returned to town, I would write a letter. I'd thank Francisca for everything until now. No. Jed no longer existed. He was gone from this town. Unless I did that, I couldn't return to being a girl. I had to give up everything about Jed. The days I spent as Jed and all the people I knew flashed before my eyes. When I thought that, tears came to my eyes. But even so...
どうしたの？
He looked worried, but it was alright. There was nothing to worry about.
嬉しいんだ。これからこうやって過ごしていけることが。
Ash returned my smile with one of his own. And on this day, when this town closed in winter, a boy and a witch vanished, and a girl who lived in happiness was born. I don't remember hearing this before, the chorus. This must be the final movie. The final ending variation. We've had 4 of these now. Well, we got one more left. One singular ending and 1 note left. And that's all for the entire game. Well, rest in peace to everyone else who knew Jed or Aya. I guess they don't get to escape the eternal winter. I know, right? Oh my lord. 2 the butterflies. Psychedelica of the Ashen. One left. One singular ending left. Blissful girl, unlock the traveler's ending. There's Hugh. Have a night. Before I do this, I'm going to check the flowchart and check the notes. It's still locked. Good to know. And go down to the tavern for the other ending. I should ask for some water. I got out of bed and headed downstairs to the tavern.
Oh yeah?
There was a white silhouette in the room.
Ashu?
君も眠れなかったのかな?
While saying that, he held up his steaming cup.
どうしたんだい?
I think so far Ash is the only one whose arms reach out to embrace Aya back through the heart gem. The other guys just stand there while Aya hugs the gem. See, Ash or Hugh isn't sussy. Also, as far as endings go, this is the last ending. The Link's ending. This is the Link's ending, the last one. Also, I'm gonna go grab some snacks, maybe a drink and things like that. Well, mostly I'll just get a drink, just so I can hydrate my voice a bit. So I'm gonna be back in a few minutes, so we can do the last ending together. I am just going to... Just gonna check something anyway. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go get some snacks or a drink. Most likely more drinks than anything. Bring me Cheez-Its. I don't have Cheez-Its, unfortunately. If I had Cheez-Its, I would eat them. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll see you all in a little bit. I don't know if I should put Vermelho on, because we already had it for the opening music and we got it for the endings. So I'm gonna put something different than Vermelho on. Or Vermelho. No, it is Vermelho. Next with Cheez-Its from Boyo, but the petrol he's at doesn't have cheese. It's F. Cheez-Its looks so good though. Okay. Instead of Verhelmo, I'll just put on Scarborough there because it's a good song. Also, I learned today Scarborough is actually a real place. I did mention my geography was bad. I genuinely thought Scarborough was a fictional place. Color me surprised when it's actually a real place. That's probably extremely embarrassing for people. Anyway, I'll leave you with Scarborough there while I go and get my drink. See you all in a bit.
Ask him to blow it with warmth parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all over with peppercorn, for they here be a true love of mine. Ask him to blow it with one's own. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all over with peppercorn, for they here be a true love of mine. Where are you going to scour for parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme? Remember me for one holy prayer, for he was but a true love of mine. Ask him to buy me my little land. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, between the circle and the seed land, for they here be a true love of If you say that you can, there shall lie parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. One day we know that at least you may try, for you'll never be a true love of mine. Ask him to blow it with one's own. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all over with peppercorn, for they here be a true love of mine. Where are you going to scour for parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme?
I I'm gonna like keep. I found a cover of Scarborough Fair. I'm curious if it is if it is the Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk one, or if Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk is taking the original Scarborough Fair song and doing it in a different way. I don't even know. Oh, it says be interested though. I don't want to put that one too long. I think it would be closer. I think it's all one song. I think it's all one song. I think Scarborough Fair is all one song. Why did I get an ad? I genuinely think Scarborough Fair is all one song. And it's just multiple different variations. There's one in Ashen Hawk, and then there's, I guess, the original, and then there's that little snippet I didn't try to put too much of on. Okay, interesting. I do think Scarborough Fair is my favorite of the non-opening OSTs in Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk. Also, when you said Boyo was at my door, that's hilarious, considering that was the moment Scarborough Fair started playing. I go back to the game now, though. An indescribable anxiety rose from within. Was it because I didn't want to return to being a man? Ugh, I was just checking. I got the sensation that I was faking who I really was, and it made me unable to speak casually like I always did.
Ash は前に私を素敵な女の子だって褒めてくれたよね。
うん。
そんなことないんだ。私は嘘つきで臆病者で。
Why was I telling this to him all of a sudden? There was no way I could reveal the truth. I'm neither a witch nor Jed, so who am I? How did Ash see me right now? Boyo is here. You didn't miss much at all, Bun, just a few lines. I gripped the skirt of my dress tightly and swallowed what I was about to say.
話をしようか。
Also, Bun, just so you don't miss the true ending, because honestly, you've pretty much stuck around for the entire playthrough. I've been back since before you got back to talking to Boyo. Oh, okay. Honestly, because you've been sticking around for pretty much the whole playthrough, got the whole story, the whole lore and everything, but you missed like the best ending of the game and the the true conclusion and true wrap up. Thanks for reminding me that I need to touch grass. Because you missed it, what I'm going to do, I genuinely feel that since you've been there for so long, been through pretty much the whole game, I just repeated myself. But the fact that you stayed for that, I feel like it's kind of really disappointing if that was the only ending you missed. Considering it was, for me, the best ending that we've done so far, probably gonna be the best ending of the game. And also it ties everything nice and neatly into a little bow. And it's a really happy one too, at the same time. You may think it's sad, and there's definitely a lot of sad moments in it, but in the end it makes you cry of happiness. So I am going to send it to you through Discord DMs, because it would be a crime to not witness the heroine ending after sticking with this game for so long. Ash took out another cup and poured some boiling water into it. He put it down onto a table next to him and sat down.
これは誰にも話したことがない。手記にも書き留めていない物語だ。今は幕開ということで、君になら特別に話してあげよう。
Oh, he changed his usual outfit. I see. His eyes stared at me, and not in the usual gentle way. It actually reminded me of an elderly man. I was drawn to those eyes as I sat down at the table.
僕が旅人ということは前に話したよね。
いろいろな場所に行ったって。
僕は一人で旅をする前、とある魔女に命を助けられたんだ。
A witch. That word struck my heart.
魔女って
肩を怪我してしまってね。冷たい雪に埋もれて何時間も経っていた。次第に体温はなくなっていき、このまま命を失うのだろう。そう思った時に拾われたんだ。
It couldn't have been a very fond memory, but Ash didn't seem to care much and began to speak in his usual tone.
魔女は別に伝承のように恐ろしいことをするわけじゃない。少しばかり人と違う力があっただけだ。彼女は一人きりで暮らしていた。たまに千里眼で見た遠い世界に思いを馳せたり。変わった女性だった。人嫌いの人好きで、離れたところに暮らす娘が一人いた。魔女の力はその娘にも受け継がれた。
I didn't know what Ash was trying to say, but I decided to quietly listen.
わけあって僕は魔女たちから離れることになったけれど、ずっと彼女たちの行く末に興味があった。だからこうして魔女の伝承のある町へ舞い戻ってきてしまった。
その魔女たちは今は
Dead, probably?
大昔の話だからね。今はもういない。
じゃあどうしてまだここに
Ash made a rare ambiguous smile at my question.
どうしてだろうね。何度も自分なりに考えてみたよ。僕が魔女の物語に執着するわけ。それは僕自身の物語が綴れなかったからだ。
アッシュ自身？
僕は自分が何者なのかわからないんだ。だから君と話をするのは楽しい。役をもらえているような気がしてね。
His words seemed to be jumping all over the place.
例えば僕が君の目に映らなければ、僕は君とここで話すシーンに登場しない。
Oh.
君は喉の渇きを潤し、部屋に戻るだけだろ。
それは
I didn't understand what Ash was getting at. He shrugged his shoulders, noticing my expression.
僕は僕とこうして物語を紡いでくれる君が気に入っている。要はそれだけだよ。ここで君と話した時間はとても楽しかった。君が何者でもそれは変わらない。君は君なんだから。
His gentle words gave me the illusion that we shared our problems.
私も毎日楽しいよ。
だから欲が出てしまうのかな。
Ash didn't say anything else and simply smiled at me.
さあ、そろそろ部屋に戻るといい。すっかり体が冷えてしまった。
The cup in my hand was already cold. I quickly drank it down. He reached over the table and took my cup.
自分で。
構わないよ。
Ash then whispered into my ear.
ごめんね。
Before I knew it, Ash had stepped away.
早くおやすみ。ここで話したことは幕開の夢。
White silhouette disappeared behind the counter.
すべて忘れておしまい。
I couldn't hear anything anymore. I was unable to move for a while. I was gonna say that better not be it.
はーい、鴨肉のローストと大ジョッキお願いします。
はいよ。今日はなんかおすすめある？
いい野菜が入ったって店長言ってましたけど。
野菜か。まあたまにはいっか。じゃあ野菜たっぷりシチューのセットで。
かしこまりました。
I'm starting to think this is...
すっかり看板娘だね。
This is... Okay, this is repeat right here. Yeah, this is repeat. It's just for that extra part. Yeah, this is literally just the ending that we already had. Yeah, it was literally just the ending. We already saw that. We just had that little extra part there. And we know everything about Hugh that there is to know. I want whatever Jed's smoking. So Hugh is essentially quote-unquote traveler that keeps going from witch to witch because the witch has helped him in a hard time. So he keeps going from witch to witch to try and create a beautiful story. Okay. And Ashen Hawk is Avery's, which is a ghost, which is Francisca's husband, which is Olga's sister, and Olga's wife Aya is Jet's mother. Then there's Lavin and Levy and all that, Levy being the Black Shadow. Just doing a big recap essentially. T and Lucas were adopted from Olga into the Hawk family. Magical stones make everyone go crazy. And Olga, went crazy, killed Francisca. Whole war broke out after the masquerade, everyone united. Caused a bunch of deaths and tragedy. Then there was a plan to take out Olga because he was crazed. He spared him. And then after that, there was obviously all the other different routes, but the main route that I'm going to recap is something happened. I won't spoil it for Bun, but something happened to Jed which allowed the Kaleidovir to be completed. As Hugh had said, Psychedelica, the Ashen Hawk. As Hugh had said, once it's completed, the world would go away and everything would hopefully return to good and everyone's souls can go back in the circle of life, which they did. And it's almost like they were reborn. This is different. Oh, this is different. I heaved a sigh after closing the notebook. The heat from both sides subsided. The man who called himself a traveler still wore the same smile.
あなたずるいわ。周りの人の目をくらますなんて反則よ。
The man smiled playfully at the reprimand.
でもこのお話では普通の女の子になることを選んだのね。この子の目にはあなたは素敵な普通の青年で。
Hold on, what the hell is this? He slowly caressed the cover of the notebook and the old and weathered leather rubbed against his skin.
君は僕が彼女を代役にしたと思う？
思わないわ。だってあなた寂しかったのでしょ。それにあなた。
I did my best to make a serious face, but I couldn't help but smile.
この子のことが好きになったんでしょ。一緒にいて楽しかったのよね。もっと話をしていたいって思ったのよね。それはもう恋よ。
She decisively pointed at the man's heart.
あなたはもう 灰の魔女と暮らしていた鷹じゃないのよ。何者にだってなれるんだから。恋の相手にだって導き手にだって、あなた次第で好きな未来を選ぶことができるわ。
So it was all part of a storybook that Hugh wrote. You're telling me this whole thing was just a big old storybook? Huh? So he was genuinely writing a story. This is confusing me. Features that I don't have.
それはとても魅力的で楽しそうだね。
The man chuckled.
それじゃあ僕はそろそろ行くよ。
どこへ？
流れ着くまま次の場所へ。どこかで君たちを見守り綴らせてもらうよ。
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Or it's the whole, because I don't think it's a storybook. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that theory. What if Hugh can go between different times or like different timelines, right? And write stories of his experiences. That makes a bit more sense.
それじゃあいつかまた。
I think that's what it is. It's more like that. And then he shows the stories to people who he cares about. But saying that, the man's head fluttered in the spring winds as he departed. Either that or he can go back and forward in time. The sun was shining and the vast blue of the sky proved that spring was here. I looked up at it as I recalled the girl I met a few days ago. An adorable girl who was neither a ghost nor a fairy.
お名前聞いてもいい？
ジェド。
それは本当のお名前かしら？
I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. It's not alternate dimensions or timelines. It's not back and forward in time. Of course. I'm a dumbass. We saw it in the true ending. He can travel freely throughout the Psychedelica. He can travel through the world of the living, through the Psychedelica, and most likely through the world of the dead as well. Just freely, however he pleases. I am so dumb. Yeah. The girl mumbled her name. With the witch's eye, I saw someone dear to me in a world far, far away. Subconsciously, my hand went over my belly to protect what was inside.
決めた。
こんなところにいたのか。
あら、オレがちょうどよかった。
Maybe this is in the past? Maybe he is legitimately a time traveler? My brain hurts. Is he a time traveler? Or is this in the past in the Psychedelica? Because we know he can freely travel between the world of the living and the... I say the world of the living. He can travel between, you know, well actually is. Travel between the world of the living and the space trapped inside the Psychedelica. We know that. Are we saying he can go back and forth in time as well? Jeez, he is a man of so many mystical powers.
出かけるぞ。そんな格好では風邪をひく。着替えてこい。
Faster than I could state my business, he spoke first. What a strange turn of events this was. I didn't expect him to take me outside. By the time I'd finished preparing, the sky had already darkened. It was still too early for sundown. Although it was spring, the snow had not melted in the forest. With such bad visibility, I held on to Olgar's hand. I walked carefully so as to not slip.
一体どこに連れて行ってくれるの？
I couldn't hold back my excitement, so I decided to ask before we got to our destination. But his answer was as indifferent as usual.
もうすぐだ。
The snowdrop field.
やっぱり教えてくれないのね。
つけばわかる。さあ、ここだ。
We were at an opening in the forest, a space where there were no trees but a bright white field of flowers in their place. Snowdrop flowers.
すごい。
The tiny flowers that told us of the coming of spring, and there were so many of them.
これを見せてやりたくてな。
Olga's stern face blushed.
それでわざわざ連れてきてくれたの？
いや、もう一つある。
The marriage proposal. After clearing his throat, he gingerly took something out from his pocket.
ペンダント？
It was a pendant with a snowdrop motif. There was a beautiful jewel in the center. As I was captivated by its mysterious brilliance, Olga cleared his throat again and began to speak.
これをお前に渡したくてな。
What's this?
私に？
結婚してからお前には何もしてやれていないからな。俺の一番大切なものをお前に贈りたかった。
And he brought me all the way here for that. Among the flower garden of snowdrops that the pendant was based on. I was so happy. I suppose this was what I meant to be overwhelmed with joy. But I didn't know why I burst out laughing.
なぜ笑う？
ごめんなさい。すごく可愛らしくて。
気に入ってくれたか？
いいえ、ペンダントのことじゃなくて、あなたが。ごめんなさい。ありがとう。とても嬉しいわ。ペンダントもとっても素敵。本当に嬉しいわ。
I took the hand of my sulking husband.
あなたはいつも一生懸命な人。私のことだけじゃなく、この町のために、ここで生活する人たち、みんなのために。そんなあなたとこの町の人たちが、私は大好きよ。あなたの大切にしていたものを私も大切にするわ。この先ずっと。
そうか。
それとね、実は私も伝えたいことがあるの。
I'm pregnant. I pulled my husband's clenched fist onto my belly. I looked up at his confused face and smiled. Oh my god, you're pregnant.
あなたの子供ができました。
He was very surprised. No wonder, as we had tried for so long and now I was finally conceived with our child. God damn, how many tries did that take?
名前をつけなくては。
名前はね、もう決まっているの。
I'll tell her pregnant.
何？
エアールっていうの。
エアル。女の名前だな。
ええ、きっと女の子よ。
なぜわかる？
だって私は魔女ですもの。だからこの瞳に映る世界の先を見通せるの。
未来を見ることができるとは聞いていない。本当なのか？
さあ、どうでしょうね。
I tried to be teasing, but my husband quickly responded.
お前の言うことだ。信じないわけがなかろう。
He spoke matter-of-factly. That wasn't fair.
それでどうかしら、この子の名前。
良い名だ。とても。
Aya is actually a pretty name. After saying that, Olga moved close to me. Instead of embracing me, he snuggled close. It felt as if he wanted to tell me that he would be by my side as we lived on. But I was a witch. My eye could see the future of this world. Though it may be uncertain and hazy.
この子はね、 フランシスカみたいにしっかり者で、エイプリルのようにおおらかで。
Hold up. Are we saying that Arya knew everything that was going to happen? Are we saying that Arya knew exactly everything that was gonna... Well, it did say it was hazy, and it wasn't completely 100% accurate, but we're saying Arya had some sort of insight into what was going to happen to her or Jed's fate. But clearly not enough, because she ended up dying.
あなたのように強い子になるの。
俺はお前のように優しさを持つ子になってほしい。
Seems she wasn't fearful of the outcome. That explains why she still looked on Francisca with fondness. It's like she knew that Jed was going to, that Aya was going to be alright. And Aya also, technically had traits from all four of them. Traits from Francisca, traits from April, traits from Olga, and traits from her actual mother, Arya.
きっとなれるわ。なるの。私にはわかるわ。だって私は魔女よ。
This is really tying up all the loose ends. This is really, really good. Olga smiled as if he was expecting that answer, and then I leaned my head on his shoulder. Aya, a child, Olga's and mine. And she would be raised by Francisca and Apris. Many treacherous paths awaited her, but I was sure she could overcome them. I looked at the flowers at my feet and the pendant Olga gave me. Snowdrop, the tiny flower that bid farewell to spring. My child, and to all of our children, pain will accompany your choices. Not one of them are wrong, so you will be alright. I hope that you will be by the side of your loved ones, smiling. To my beloved children. The Witch's Eyes, Unlock the Witch's Ending, endings 100%, cleared all endings, and flowchart 100%. Completion of the flowchart. And that's the final one. We're not completely done yet. Still have one final thing to do. I'll go to break to sleep. No, because we're not done. We need to go back to the flowchart, because we just got this last thing here, a picture book.
昔々あるところに2つの種族に分かれた獣たちが暮らしていました。
Well, you said goodnight, Rudy. I'm not going to bed just yet. My god.
獣たちはとても仲が悪く、互いの姿を見つけてはいつも殺し合っていました。そんなある日、一匹の獣は一人の女と出会います。女は獣へ尋ねます。どうして憎み合っているのかと。獣は女に答えます。私たちの本能がそうさせるのだと。女は悲しそうに言いました。あなたたちが殺し合えば、それは終わりのない連鎖となるでしょう。あなたたちの子供、そのまた子供、果てはあなたの次の魂まで。その争いと悲しみの連鎖は途切れることはありません。争いが終わらない。獣は女の言葉を笑い飛ばしました。私たちはずっと殺し合ってきたのです。私の両親も、そのまた両親も。その連鎖を止める方がよっぽど恐ろしいのです。そうして獣たちは女の言葉を忘れ、疑い、呪い、殺し続けました。ある日、獣は一匹の灰色の獣と出会います。二匹は野をかけ、山をかけ、やがて友達になりました。しかし、灰色の獣は 敵対する種族だったのです。獣は悩みました。このままでは私は友達を殺してしまう。それから1夜2夜3夜、いくつもの夜を過ごし、ついに獣は女のところへ行き願いました。どうか私たちの獣の心を削いでください。私はあの人と仲良くなりたいのです。女はその願いを快く受け入れ、二つの種族の悪い心を輝く宝石に封じ込めました。これで悪い獣の心は収められたのですか？獣は喜び、女にお礼を言おうとしました。しかし女は言いました。願いには代償がつきものなのです。女の目がみるみるうちに炎のような真っ赤な色に変わっていきました。そう、女は恐ろしい魔女だったのです。
See you.
これは魔石。封じ込めた獣の心にあなたたちの住処を襲わせましょう。魔女はそう告げました。獣は言います。それならばあなたを殺しますと魔女は答えます。ならばまた赤い目の子供が生まれるようにしましょうと獣はさらに言います。それならばまたその子供を殺します。
So this is how the whole witch legend started with this story. So we're experiencing it here, I see.
魔女はまた答えます。ならばまた次の赤い目の子供が生まれるようにしましょう。
The cycle keeps continuing until it never ends.
そしてこれは魔女の呪いなのですと微笑みました。獣は恐ろしくなり、住処に戻って仲間たちに魔女のことを話しました。二種族の獣たちは魔女を倒そうと相談を始め、ついに獣たちは協力して悪い魔女を倒しました。魔女は蝶となりどこかへ消え、獣たちは祝いの宴を開き、喜びの踊りを踊ります。こうして獣たちは末永く幸せに暮らしました。めでたしめで。
Now, close notes. I'm gonna check the achievements. I should technically have 100%. There it is. 100%. You've unlocked all achievements. And here is my first 100% achievement completed game. Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. Ah. Celebration. Let's look back on the album and all the times we had in the gallery. Yeah. And the witch. And the controller work. Thank you. Wait a minute. Weedy's two red eyes. Macho will call it seven machi was square why. Square. You're gonna kill the witch in the town. Bruh. I'm not the witch. I'm not a witch. What can I say? You kill the witch, you can save the town. Yeah. I guess it was something along those lines because I saw Majo or Korose, and then I saw Machi, so I was like, kill the witch, town. And Sukuaru, I was like, kind of like maybe like save, because Tasquete. So I was trying to piece it together. Yeah, I roughly got what you meant anyway. I'm just looking back on the memories because I don't want to let go. This game, honestly, yeah, it had that part in chapter 2 where it was just full of so much like fillery side story stuff, but it really made you appreciate the characters more. I want to look through all these. Relive the memories. I wonder if there's anyone who simps for Olgar. There probably is out there. Honestly, while looking through all of these and also how the game was, although chapter 2 was a very drawn out chapter with a whole bunch of side content and the plot wasn't really going anywhere, honestly, once the plot picked up, it picked up very good and very fast. And honestly, the endings and everything just made up for it so much. It was a great journey from start to finish. And I am extremely glad to have played this game and found it in the first place. These memories. What a game it's been. Honestly, I would give this a 10 out of 10. Because the endings so much make up for that chapter 2. Especially the true ending. Just made everything worth it. I was kind of spoiling it, but like, you don't know the context. You weren't there for it. These are just memories. Imagine some DJ going, Daddy Olga, oh god. I just want, it's like, when I complete a game that's this good, I just want to take a trip down memory lane. Remember all the good times. I don't want to leave this game. Even if I have 100%ed it. background music. Gobber Fair. Yeah. Wait, sorry, there is the other ones. There's these. This so good. Flowchart. Look at this beautiful completed flowchart. It's amazing. And we read all the notes, everything. Sleep child. Right, fine. Also, I'm not going to sleep. Shush. Let's go through the opening and ending one more time, and then I will finally put the game to rest. This is one more last nostalgia trip.
閉ざされた雪に眠る獣少女は見上げる灰空の鳥雪白の檻に囚われた街は喜びも悲しみも永遠に繰り返す誰か優しく落ちた世界の中で風を背負い生きる者が望むのは何か決してやまない雪が雨吹くことでただ答えを探すよサイケデリカそこで巡り合ったじゃない灰色の冷たい空に降り止まぬ雪 Stay with me きっと誰も分かってくれない熱く痛む燃えるような瞳の奥は何度もつないだ手と手に喜びと幸せを握らせた前あなたが名前を変えてもあなたが声を変えてもそう私にはわかる開かない扉の前で泣いていたあどけない目がそう語り夢を懐かしい匂いはクレマチスでしょうかAsk him to blow it with water.
That's it. With a total time of 44 hours, I have 100% completed Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. When you said need to touch cards already 100% in the US Genshin region, of course you have. Of course you have. I'm gonna go to this chatting segment. Oh, also, let me quickly grab the true ending for you, Bun, so I can give that to you. The heroine ending. Here you go. I'm just gonna send this to you in DMs. There you go. This is what I was bawling my eyes out for. The best ending in the game that you've missed. The heroine ending. Seriously? Please. You've been on this journey with us for so long. Please. Please, I beg of you. With how much of the game you have experienced, that's like the only part you haven't. Genuinely, it is the perfect end to the story. Also, yeah, I can send you the PNG. I'll send it after stream. But yeah, that's it. I'm sad. I am kind of sad. I wanted it to last longer, but all good things must come to an end at some point. As for who my favorite character was, I'd say definitely Ashen Hawk and Lugus as well. Those are my two favorite characters in the entire game. And I am going to be very, very honest. I do think there was some sort of a canon love interest with Lugus because of how much they were pushing the relationship with Aya and Lugus, with how much they were pushing it in the endings. It was in like multiple endings that weren't even Lugus's. In Lugus's ending, the heroine's ending, there was even like one of the other endings as well. Like one of the not so good endings. Again, there was this relationship of possible romance between Lugus and Aya. So I feel like the game was trying to push that quite a bit. So I feel like if anything would be a canon relationship, it would be Aya and Lugus. You and your redheads. Hey, 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 hey. Look, 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 look. Ashen Hawk is he's nice, okay? I didn't really know what else to say. I can't really defend myself, can I? But yeah, we're gonna raid Frost Naoki today. We raided Naoki a few times in the past. For the people on YouTube, if you want to follow along, I will grab Naoki's Twitch link for you all. They're playing a Super Mario RPG remake for the Nintendo Switch. I've not really been playing the Mario games at all, to be honest. Both Mario Wonder and Mario RPG flew over my head. I've really only been not really focusing on too many of the new games recently, actually, to be honest with you. Neko Raid, it's not a cat call, damn it. Yeah, the raid message is Neko Raid. If you'd like to add an emote of your own, feel free to. There is the official love emote if you'd like to use that as well. So yeah, I will see you all. It's not on the schedule, but I will see you all on Sunday for Shin Megumi Tensei 5. Where we continue our journey of becoming a god. And if you're on YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow. Possibly. Not sure about that one yet. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, bye, bye-bye.